Introduction. Here is a scenario. The fields are rolling and filled to the brim with fresh fruits and vegetables that were tended by hand. The air smells crisp, and you can pick up on the faint hints of freshly dug soil and manure. You take a bite of an apple, and the flavor explodes in your mouth, coating it with sweetness. Does this sound serene? Does it remind you of the way that life should still be? It is sad to say, however, that this world has changed. The days where farmers would tend to their crops with a combination of love and blessing from Mother Earth herself are well behind us. Our food and our way of life have changed to an extent that our ancestors would scratch their heads and wonder where we went wrong. You can admit that after the Industrial Revolution, the way we produce our food has changed for the better, but at what cost? Our air is filled with so many stray chemicals that we often wonder why we cannot breathe in the cities that we love dearly. Our animal kingdom has lost species after species. Our oceans, the lifeblood of our earth, are polluted and becoming more acidic by the day. Our trees have been cut down to make way for more factories and human advancements. We have damaged the earth. But what about the wreckage we have done to the home of our bodies? We can walk on our streets now and find fast food chains on almost every corner. We love the taste and the convenience of not having to get our engines ready and cook a meal. We love fast food so much, and it has become so ingrained in the mind of the Western world that our children, who need all the nourishment that they can get, cling to our arms and beg us for McDonald's. Does this scare you? It should. We have traded food that was good for our health for food that damages our health on a daily basis. The Western world gave up going outside for heart disease and diabetes, to name a couple of the diet-based ailments that plague us on a daily basis. We gave up living long, full lives for an increase in mortality rates globally from these diseases that can be managed if not avoided. How do we help ourselves? How do we fix the damage we have done to ourselves after years of treating our bodies like they were never the temples that we should hold in pristine conditions? Well, the answer to that is very simple, and it is thankfully found in this book. The Alkaline diet is a diet that aims to heal and strengthen the body by consuming foods that seek to balance the pH levels of the body by foregoing the acid-rich meats, and aiming to follow a way of life that is good for the planet and good for your bodies. The Alkaline diet mainly focuses on foods that have an alkaline basis. Now, for the chemistry layman reading this book, pH is a scale of 0 to 14, where 7 is known as having a neutral pH, anything below 7 being acidic in nature, and anything above 7 being alkaline. The body is composed of various alkaline levels. For example, the skin and stomach are largely alkaline in nature. This is to protect the skin from bacteria and to break down the food that we ingest. On the other hand, blood is regarded as being slightly alkaline in nature and functions to regulate the acid-alkaline balance in conjunction with other organs. The human body is complex in that way. When it comes to food, there is a difference in the various pH levels of the body that will be addressed in this book. Our guts are the foundation of having a healthy body, so it is not an assumption that the pH level of our bodies depends on what we eat. Diets that are too high in an acid content act to the detriment of the body. Plant-based and alkaline diets, however, affect the body in astounding ways. To get this out of the way, it needs to be known that meat or too much meat is a no. Meat and animal products, except for milk, which has a neutral pH and a large amount of calcium, are not necessarily bad when controlled. Yet the problem with our Western diet is that we put animal products as the main focus of our meals and relegate plants to being secondary. You may be thinking, I need protein. Protein is a building block of the body, but following a plant-based lifestyle does not mean that you never get protein. With the alkaline diet, there is a cornucopia of plant-based proteins, like soy and lentils, to name a couple. This diet works by naturally regulating the pH levels of the human body through the consumption of food. Our bodies are constantly changing and thrown with factors that affect our bodies. To compensate this, the body regulates itself through something called homeostasis. When combined with an alkaline diet, the body regulates and repairs itself at a greater rate than on the common Western diet. This is due in part to how healthy the alkaline diet is. It is because of the focus being on plants, which can never be in moderation. Plants are storehouses of the minerals and fiber that we need for optimum health. What makes the alkaline diet so powerful is that it focuses on intuitive eating and removes a large amount of saturated foods that the common diet has. This has the obvious benefit of making us healthier, but also strengthens our immune systems. A strong immune system can fight anything that comes its way, but a weak one attracts the plight of many health problems. The plant-based and alkaline diets do not have to be difficult. They can be as simple as breathing. Chapter 1. Need to know facts about the alkaline diet. The alkaline diet has a plethora of health benefits that people who follow this lifestyle and science have touted. Now, before you groan and wonder why, the science of the book will be fun to learn and very easy to read. An alkaline diet, as stated in the introduction, is high in the minerals that we do need, but what are those minerals? Calcium is the first to be discussed. Calcium is one of the big 5 minerals that the alkaline diet provides and the body needs for proper function, not only for bone and teeth health, but also for our well-being. An adequate presence of calcium within the human body ensures that the nerves work, which, in case you did not know, carry messages of movement and stimulus to our brains, as cited in Newman, 2020. It is a common trend for women who are postmenopausal and people who are of an advanced age to experience a leaching of calcium from the bone mineral density of their skeletal systems, which leads to osteoporosis later in life. This dangerous disease causes the potential for fractures and broken bones to occur at a much higher rate. Newman, 2020. Diets that are high in the net acid load have the tendency of seeping away the calcium of the skeletal structure through a process that is known as metabolic acidosis, which will be explained in Chapter 4 of this book. The kidneys function in order to ensure that the acid-base balance of the body is always at a level that the body can manage, by releasing non-volatile acids in the urine stream and releasing a chemical compound that is known as sodium bicarbonate that is regenerated and reabsorbed continually. When this is left unchecked as a means of compensating for the imbalances, the body takes from the calcium stores of the body, which surprisingly not only affects the skeleton, but also the heart. The heart needs calcium in order to continue pumping our blood. Science has observed that the modern-day diet has a largely acidic composition, which when left unmonitored can lead toward an acid bulk load in the human body. This is due to a higher presence of hydrogen ions, which caused the pH of the bloodstream to fall from basic to acidic in nature, as cited in Rodriguez Neto Angelico, et al., 2018. When this is left unchecked, it wreaks havoc with the function of the kidneys. The alkaline diet, when scrutinized by scientists, does not have an acid load that is comparable to a meat-centric diet. This is mostly attributed to the nature of alkaline foods, which contain a large amount of potassium and calcium, which are alkaline in nature. Potassium is one of the other minerals that the alkaline diet has in abundance. Potassium is an alkaline mineral that works in tandem with calcium when it comes to nerve health, but calcium ensures that the nerves have the ability to contract properly. Adding to the benefit of calcium to the heart, it also keeps the heart beating properly, yet it does so much more than that. Potassium acts as a mineral which helps move waste outside of the cell and move nutrients into the cell, as cited in Cherney, 2018. This adds to the validity of the alkaline diet. Our diet and our lives are so inundated with harmful substances that the nutrients we do need and the chemical waste that we do not need are left in limbo. The other mineral to be discussed is magnesium. Magnesium is a mineral that works by regulating muscle and nerve control, balancing the body's blood pressure and sugar levels. Adding to the job of magnesium is making bones, DNA, and protein. Another important alkaline mineral that this lifestyle provides in abundance is manganese. Manganese helps regulate the body's metabolic processes by activating enzymes. For example, it has been found that manganese aids in protein and amino acid digestion as well as their utilization, while also having the ability to break down carbohydrates. The final mineral that should be addressed is iron. Yes, plant-based diets do have iron. Popeye the Sailor Man showed us about the power that a single can of spinach gave him. Iron is a mineral that aids in the growth and development of the body. Remember that blood mentioned earlier? Iron is responsible for making the red pigment that allows oxygen to be used by the body. Let us now get down to the benefits of the alkaline diet. Our forefathers ate a diet that was mostly alkaline and plant-based in nature, and they lived very long lives, free from most of the diseases that we are plagued with. The first scientific fact of the diet is how it affects our tickers. The modern-day diet is so laden with unhealthy foods that are high in sodium and fat, as well as a high focus on meat, which has been shown to increase the chances of developing heart disease. The alkaline diet removes these vast quantities and supplements by providing fresh produce which lowers the chance of heart disease. This can mostly be attributed to the high content of good nutrients that the alkaline diet provides. A high consumption of meat has been shown to increase the propensity for a person to develop a form of heart disease. It makes sense if you think about it. All that fat and gristle we see when we cook meat has to go somewhere. It does not just go to our stomachs, but also to the rest of the body, in the form of cholesterol. Cholesterol is not a bad thing, quite the contrary. It is needed in order to build healthy, functioning cells, as cited in Schaefer, 2020. Too much, however, leads to fat being deposited on the lining of the blood vessels, which constricts the flow of blood, according to the CDC, 2017. There are many people who love meat so much that they eventually end up eating too much, developing gout and high blood pressure. The alkaline diet also bans coffee, which has been known to affect the heart in many other ways than giving us the gumption to go. Caffeine has been shown to negatively affect the body when consumed in a great amount, because not only does it affect the pH of the body because it is acidic, but it also places too much of a strain on the heart and the mind. A second scientific fact of the alkaline diet is the major energy boost of eating a healthy plant-based diet. Let us use an example here. Think of any moment you ate a very meat-heavy meal. Did you get tired? That, my friends, is due to the disruption of your body's circadian rhythm. Meat is delicious, yes, but too much is not good for the body. A diet high in alkaline-centric plants gives you a major boost to your energy because plant-based nutrients are released by your body over a longer period of time and do not hamper your body's metabolism by forcing it to break down proteins and amino acids, as cited in Sisson's 2019. Another important aspect of the alkaline diet is the fact that the alkaline diet has a high nutrient basis which allows for the oxygen in your body to be more readily accessible due to the reducing thickness of the blood. This improves the flow of the blood and gives more blood to the tissues of the body, as cited in Barnard et al., 2019. There are so many people who follow a plant-based diet that have enough energy to last all day. Third, the alkaline diet helps the body produce human growth hormone. HGH is one of the most vital hormones that the body produces in a combination with testosterone if you are male or estrogen if you are female when you are still a teenager, as cited in Clark, 2020. HGH is vital for the building, maintenance, and repair of the tissues of the body, but it does so much more than that. It ensures that the body repairs itself from any damage that was done to the body during the day or an external event such as cutting your hand open when you are hopefully cooking a plant-based alkaline meal. For the gym rats reading this book, it also helps you build muscle and makes your skin look magazine-worthy. With this diet, your body will be thanking you by improving your quality of life both physically and cognitively. Considering that osteoporosis was addressed earlier in this book, it has been proven that the alkaline diet has the benefit of potentially reducing one's propensity for developing this disease, as cited in Joffrey, 2017. The alkaline diet promotes good bone health by providing the body with the needed calcium as well as ensuring that the calcium within the body is not taken away by the acid breakdown process, as cited in Hanley and Whiting, 2013. The skeleton is the foundation that our muscle is attached to, while also housing and protecting all of our organs. Based on this, it needs to be remembered that a healthy skeleton means a healthy foundation. It should be remembered that a diet that is too low in protein also increases the risk of a person developing this dreaded disease. You can see how healthy someone's skeleton is by looking at their smile, for some food for thought. Considering that muscles were mentioned, this brings us to our fourth scientific fact of the alkaline diet. The older we grow as people, the lower the amount of muscle mass we have, which is known as sarcopenia. People of a middle age lose about 3% of their muscle mass every year, as cited in Thorpe, 2017. While this is just a natural part of getting older, as your body can no longer properly manage the signals for building muscle and tearing down cells, sarcopenia can also be due to lifestyles that we live. The Western world thrives off of stress and improper diets, ironically. It has been studied that the alkaline diet greatly improves the quality and quantity of muscle as well as muscle retention, as cited in Schwalfenberg, 2012. The fifth scientific fact of the alkaline diet is regarding cancer. This is a very scary word for many people, but this is not meant to scare you. For the people who are reading this book who have lost someone dear to them from cancer or experienced their own journey with cancer, I give you my condolences. Cancer thrives in an environment that is highly acidic. Given the previously mentioned nature of the modern diet, this means that the chances of having cancer cells form is even greater. Adding to the already existent strength of the acid chemistry of the body when on the modern diet is the fact that cancerous tumors produce their own acid environment, as cited in Schwalfenberg, 2012. The alkaline diet not only protects the body from the cancer cells forming by balancing the pH levels of the body, but also makes cancer treatment more readily accepted by the body. Chemotherapy functions better when the environment of the body has a more alkaline content, as cited in Schwalfenberg, 2012. The effect acid has on the kidneys was mentioned earlier in this chapter, so let us delve deeper with scientifically proven facts about the alkaline diet and the kidneys. It has already been mentioned that an acidic diet impacts the kidneys and the function of the kidneys, but what happens when the kidneys do not heal themselves? Urine varies in its pH from a day-to-day basis, as well as based on what is eaten. However, a large part of the Western world has highly acidic urine. When this is left unchecked, painful kidney stones form, which either have to be removed via surgery or expelled by the urethra, as cited in Schwalfenberg, 2012. The alkaline diet has been shown to greatly reduce the occurrence of kidney stones by making the urine less acidic so that crystals are not formed and left in the kidney, while also reducing how many crystals form when the urine is unfortunately acidic. The alkaline diet has been proven to be beneficial for sufferers of chronic kidney disease, which will be discussed more in depth in the fourth chapter of this book. Sixth, the alkaline diet has various anti-aging benefits for the people that want to preserve their youth and beauty. A large amount of skin problems such as acne and eczema have been attributed to the level of acidity of our bodies. While there was the mention of the pH level of the skin being acidic in order to protect against germs and bacteria, when the acid level of the gut and intestines is too much acid, your skin will show it. as cited in Gifore, 2017. Our skin is what we always try to maintain, but what about our hair? The alkaline diet has been tested and shown to improve how strong the hair grows, as cited in Gifore, 2017. Food is not the only thing that can be alkaline. Water is not simply water, but hydration is incredibly important. The body can survive 2 weeks without food, but only 3 days without water. Tap water is chock full of heavy metals, some pesticides, and additives that are detrimental to human health, which have been shown to lead to brain deformities, according to 13 Reasons Why You Shouldn't Drink Tap Water, Tyant USA, 2019. Alkaline water, on the other hand, has been proven to be much healthier than normal water, but the alkaline water needs to be from a natural source. Water that has passed the filtration of running through a rock system is ripe with healthy alkaline minerals that the body requires. The main benefits of alkaline water is its colon-cleansing properties and immune-boosting power, as cited in Goldman, 2019. The final and most sought-after scientifically proven aspect of the alkaline diet and most plant-based diets is something that many people have sought after for many years: losing weight. Simply, people lose weight when they eat in a caloric deficit and gain weight when they are in a calorie surplus. The alkaline diet, which is mostly plant-based, has been shown to be low in calories when assessed against the Western diet, as cited in Lawler, 2020. The Western diet has a large amount of processed food and sugary beverages that negatively contribute to weight gain because they greatly increase the blood sugar due to an increase in the insulin produced, which cause the excess glucose to be stored as fat. Fruits and vegetables have a lower calorie content when compared to meat, while also being more digestible by the body. Being easily digested by the body does not mean that you will go hungry. Quite the contrary. Plant-based lifestyles are high in fiber, complex carbohydrates, and water content. This means many good things for the body. Fiber helps the body expel the food that we eat. More importantly, a lack of fiber can lead to weight gain and feeling bloated every day because of improper digestion. Complex carbohydrates are much better than the simple carbohydrates. Water content, when combined with alkaline water, which is also good for you, helps keep the stomach more satiated. There have been many arguments against carbs. This book will tell you that carbs are needed. Complex carbohydrates are digested more slowly by the body and release a higher level of energy that should be expended by exercise and movement. Weight loss should always work in tandem with a good, detailed exercise program. Luckily, the alkaline diet has many complex carbohydrates. The alkaline diet is one of the few diets that does not cringe at the mention of the word fat. It all depends on the form of fat. The body needs fats to survive, like various other nutrients for the body. Our current diets are filled to the brim with fats that are not good for us, but the relationship between fats and weight loss requires education. The alkaline diet has many good fats which are neutral in their pH, avocado being one of them. Avocado is one of the greatest superpower foods in the world. We wonder why various cultures practically worship avocado. The alkaline diet is inherently sustainable for weight loss because the body no longer needs to process foods that are high in an unhealthy fat content. Lemons and lemon juice, although acidic, have the inverse benefit of helping alkalize the body by breaking down the acids in the body and have been proclaimed as being a healthy contributor to anyone's weight loss journey. Chapter 2. Benefits of using this diet. A healthy eating style will always have benefits that will astound you when you follow it religiously and with all your heart. But what are the benefits of using a plant-based approach to your lifestyle? While the scientific facts of the alkaline diet did briefly mention some benefits, this chapter will be addressing the benefits in greater detail. The first benefit is how alkaline foods actually affect the body when compared to foods that are acidic in nature. Alkaline foods, when properly researched and introduced into the diet, have the ability to change the pH of the body, which leads to changes in how your body functions and feels on a daily basis. The first aspect of the benefit of the alkaline diet is its effect on a person's overall health. The modern-day diet has been attributed to making us feel less than ourselves, but the alkaline diet inverses how we feel into something so much better. As mentioned before, the plant-based alkaline diet affects the energy levels of the body. The alkaline diet increases the energy that the body can expend because less energy is expended on the digestion of heavy foods. This leads to an increase in what we can do in our lives. Constant fatigue becomes a symptom that torments many people and negatively affects our willpower to do things. With the alkaline diet, this constant fatigue is changed to having boundless energy, as the losses that we have in physical tone and mental drive are replaced with laser-sharp focus and enough physical energy to run a marathon. The lifestyle replaces the feeling that our limbs are heavy and cannot move to being nimble and lithe, as cited in Vasey, 2003, page 32. The acidic diet has been shown to decrease the body's own ability to regulate temperature, resulting in the body usually having a lower temperature than is normal. With the alkaline foods, however, you can kiss this goodbye. Once again, the body's energy reserves are burned in breaking down the food that the body consumes when this energy can be channeled into regulating the body's temperature, which is vital for the body surviving. For example, the male sex organs need 93.2 degrees Fahrenheit. The alkaline foods once again diffuse the effect of the acidic diet, so those severe and sudden chills will be replaced with feeling your normal temperature all year, as cited in Vasey, 2003, page 32. Diets also affect how our minds function. It has been proven that the acidic diet negatively affects brain chemistry. A diet high in sugar and additives leads to a disruption in the balance of the chemicals needed for the brain to function. The alkaline diet, on the other hand, feeds the brain. Firstly, when eating alkaline foods, the brain chemicals serotonin and dopamine thrive. These two hormones regulate how we feel and how we go about what we feel, as cited in Swaim, 2017. This lifestyle promotes followers having an increased amount of mental drive and concentration. Diets that are high in artificial and added sugars have been shown to decrease the amount of concentration that a person does have because the sugar is released too quickly and damages the receptors of the brain. The alkaline foods and plant-based diets have been proven to improve the overall emotional well-being of the person, as cited in Vasey, 2003, page 32. The emotions that we experience have been linked to the foods that we consume, with the normal diet being linked to depression, irritability, and anxiety, while the alkaline diet provides a host of nutrients that assist the brain in hormone regulation, as cited in Bellhub, 2018. The head houses and protects the brain, but the head also benefits from the alkaline and plant-based diets. When eating alkaline foods, followers no longer experience headaches as frequently as they normally would. A powerful headache can make any alpha feel like they cannot do anything. This decrease is due to the decrease in the acidity of the overall body. The eyes of the body, the window to the soul, and how our brains process visual stimuli can also benefit from the alkaline diet, as cited in Vasey, 2003, page 32. Our eyes are already sensitive to external bodies, but an acidic environment makes the eyes more sensitive than they already are. With an alkaline diet, the sensitivities will be less, yet will still be there. The alkaline diet will also reduce the risk of acquiring conjunctivitis, or more commonly known as the dreaded pink eye. Yes, adults get pink eye too. This can be attributed to the balanced environment that the normal lifestyle yields. Adding to pink eye is the general inflammation of the cornea and the eyelids due to the acidic environment. While inflammation will be addressed later in this chapter in more detail, how it impacts the eyes will be lightly touched on. With an alkaline lifestyle, the propensity of these vital parts of the eye will be greatly decreased, as cited in Vasey, 2003, page 32. Our mouths also benefit from eating alkaline foods. Improper diets lead to the development of cavities and loose teeth due to a combination of excessive acid and a high sugar content. Our spit becomes more alkaline with this diet, which promotes good dental health. Our mouths through the alimentary canal lead to our stomachs. The pH of stomachs needs to be acidic in order to properly digest our foods, but the alkaline diet greatly balances just how much acid the stomach produces. The alkaline diet heals the stomach ulcers and gastritis that were formed from an excessive amount of acid, while also preventing spasms and pains in the stomach. The alkaline diet also protects the stomach from producing too much acid, which leads to a decrease in the amount of acid regurgitation. The stomach obviously leads to our intestines, which also actively benefit from the alkaline diet. When eating a wide variety of alkaline foods, the entire intestine benefits from the alkaline diet. When a diet is too high in acid, the intestines do whatever they can in order to heal the body in various forms. With the alkaline diet, the intestines perform their function better. The alkaline diet prevents diarrhea forming, decreases the burning sensation some people experience when defecating, helps the stool have a very healthy color as the liver no longer has to exhaust itself, prevents the lining of the anus from cracking, and prevents cramping. As cited in Vasey, 2003, page 33. Alkaline foods also provide benefits to the respiratory system. With this lifestyle, continuous runny noses no longer happen, and frequent bouts of illness that affect the system are decreased. For people who suffer from allergies, alkaline foods assist your body in dealing with your body's response to irritants. Our skin, which is the physical representation of our body's health, also benefits from eating high alkaline foods. It becomes cleaner and has a luster, according to Vasey, 2003, page 34. Our hair and nails become much stronger, with thin hair and easily chipped nails being replaced with shiny hair and strong nails. This is logical since hair and nails are both formed from keratin. While the skeletal system was addressed from a scientific basis, the benefits will now be discussed. Alkaline foods have been shown to prevent and treat osteoporosis, as well as various other diseases and conditions such as rheumatism and pains. Alkaline foods have also been shown to give a pump to the circulatory system. The alkaline diet often cleanses the constricted blood vessels of the body by removing the lining of fat. These foods tend to lower blood pressure as well as increase the iron content of the blood, leading to anemia no longer being existent and decreased chances of internal bleeding when injured. The alkaline diet has also been shown to balance out the heartbeat from being irregular and rapid to being more consistent, as cited in Vasey, 2003, page 36. The alkaline diet has also been shown to greatly assist the endocrine system of the body, which is governed by the hypothalamus, a center in the brain that is responsible for releasing hormones from the pituitary gland. The endocrine system readily gets exhausted from being inundated by the chemicals that the modern diet places in the body. This is all except for the thyroid, which goes into overdrive as a means of overcompensation and controlling the body. Alkaline foods heal the function of the endocrine system by rejuvenating them and lessening the load, as cited in Vasey, 2003, page 36. A diet high in alkaline foods also aids in losing a sustainable amount of weight, while also making it easier to keep that weight off. Alkaline foods have been shown to be high in the nutrients needed for losing weight, and also provides the body with the necessary energy to break down fat. Interesting fact about body weight. Muscle weighs more than fat, but fat takes up more space than muscle. When people discuss weight, they actually mean the amount of body fat that their bodies carry. The common diet is rife with high unhealthy fat content and processed sugar. While the alkaline diet is often low in sugar, which is another contributor to an excessive amount of fat gain, it also contains the already mentioned good form of carbohydrates that will aid in losing body fat percentage when combined with a good exercise routine. Another thing that makes alkaline foods good for losing body fat percentage is the amount of calories when compared with the quantity that you can eat. For example, A large bowl of spinach will contain fewer amounts of calories than a steak, but the roughage and water content of the spinach will keep you feeling full longer when compared with other alkaline foods. Snacking is allowed. Certain snacks are also alkaline in nature, such as fresh vegetable sticks and hummus, which are also low in calories. The alkaline diet also contains a host of superfood groups and beverages that aid in the breakdown of fat cells in the body. The two beverages that come to mind are lemon water and green tea. Adding the ironically acidic lemon to your diet helps boost the metabolism to break down fat cells in the body, an effect that is also mimicked by apple cider vinegar. Now, before you tut at the mention of a vinegar which is acidic, hear me out. Apple cider vinegar has been shown to have a lower pH than traditional vinegar and has an alkalizing effect on the body. Green tea contains high alkaline in its nature and has been proven to aid the body in the breakdown of fat throughout the body. The alkaline diet also makes use of herbs and spices that are both alkaline and fat-fighting. Ginger and turmeric are two examples of alkaline spices that are both antioxidants and proven to aid weight loss. An interesting fact about weight gain is that it can often be attributed to inflammation of the body. Another interesting benefit about this type of diet is that it boosts the metabolism. The alkaline diet has been proven to aid inflammation of the body, but what causes inflammation and how does the alkaline diet aid inflammation? Inflammation of the body, which can occur throughout the body in places that are incredibly surprising, occurs in a combination of the acid environment and how the body deals with trauma. Inflammation of the body normally occurs when the white blood cells of the body aim to protect the body from the presence of outside factors such as bacteria and viruses, as cited in Feldman, 2020. However, there are many cases where the body does not have factors that the body needs to protect from and instead causes the immune system, such as in the case of arthritis, to attack the healthy tissues of the body. Inflammation of the heart causes there to be a greater chance of shortness of breath and fluid buildup. Inflammation of the air transporting vessel also causes shortness of breath, and inflammation of the kidneys has been shown to increase chances of acquiring blood pressure or in extreme cases, renal failure. The alkaline diet has already been stated to balance the pH level of the body. Inflammation has often been linked to the acidity level of the body, as cited in Musa, 2019. Gout normally occurs when a person's diet has a large amount of meat and alcohol, so this does make sense. The alkaline diet can essentially be thought of as a lubricant that can prevent and treat inflammation in all its various forms through decreasing the net acid load on various parts of the body. The effect of the immune system when it comes to certain forms of inflammation was addressed. However, the next aspect of the benefits of the alkaline diet on the immune system is how the immune system diet assists sufferers of chronic diseases. Diseases cannot occur in an alkaline environment. Chronic kidney disease, like many other diseases, has become widespread in the Western world due to the common diet, all due to the net acid load that the kidneys have to filter against. The alkaline diet has the potential to rectify this disease and has been vehemently prescribed to sufferers of CKD because the foods eaten help the kidneys rejuvenate their decreased functionality, as cited in Passy, 2017. The alkaline diet has also been exalted as being beneficial to people who have both types of diabetes. Type 1 diabetes has always been attributed to a genetic propensity, while type 2 diabetes has been attributed to lifestyle choices such as high sugar and smoking. For type 2 diabetes, the alkaline diet introduces an abundance of minerals and foods that help a person that suffers from diabetes. Alkaline foods in no manner disrupt the balance of insulin production and glucose breakdown. Instead, alkaline foods have been shown to aid those that suffer from insulin resistance, a common precursor to developing diabetes. Alkaline foods also control the amount of blood sugar that is present in the blood. The effect of the alkaline diet on chronic diseases will be further expanded upon in the 4th chapter. The alkaline diet has also been shown in the treatment of the chronic diseases that plague the heart. The alkaline diet has been shown to decrease the risk of acquiring heart diseases for various reasons. Firstly, the alkaline diet removes an excessive amount of fat, which ends up clogging the arteries of the heart, which is what causes hypertension and strokes. This is due to a decrease in the negative form of cholesterol. Secondly, components of the alkaline diet provide an abundance of minerals that keep the functioning of the heart in optimum condition, as mentioned in the first chapter. The alkaline diet has also been shown to improve upon brain functionality, which possesses the potential of mitigating against the advent of brain conditions such as Alzheimer's disease. Alkaline foods have also been shown to treat certain types of female reproductive disorders. Polycystic ovarian syndrome is regarded as being a metabolic disorder, and like most metabolic disorders, which causes inflammation, it can be rectified through the use of these foods. PCOS occurs when there is a large amount of inflammation which has been proven to be healed by following the alkaline diet, with some cases being reversed, as cited in John, 2018. Endometriosis is a condition where the lining of the uterus, which is incredibly sensitive, grows outside of the uterus, such as the lining of the vagina, according to the Mayo Clinic, 2018. Alkaline foods increase the intake of omega-3 fatty acids, which have both an anti-inflammatory and pain-relieving effect, which is a common symptom of endometriosis, as cited in Limburg, 2020. A high presence of omega-3 fats in the body has been shown to decrease the onset of endometriosis cells. The alkaline diet removes the presence of trans fats, which have been attributed to increasing the chances of developing endometriosis in women. It is already known that the alkaline way of life removes all forms of meat, but it also emphasizes removing all forms of processed meat. Meat in general has been shown to increase the body's production of estrogen, which has been shown to increase the risk of developing endometriosis. The high fiber content of the alkaline diet diffuses the excess amount of estrogen found in the body and also decreases the propensity for developing endometriosis. The reproductive health of men also heals from the alkaline diets, with many chronic and preventable diseases being managed and rectified. Erectile dysfunction is a disease that afflicts many men from various ages, with there usually being an underlying condition or it being a lifestyle-caused chronic disease. Yet, it is often left unspoken due to embarrassment and feeling like less of a man. With an alkaline approach to lifestyle, men can go from being impotent to being superpotent. This can be attributed to the nutrient-dense nature of the alkaline diet. ED is often found to be caused by a large amount of fat that a man carries both on their bodies as well as disruption in the production of testosterone in the body. It has already been mentioned that alkaline foods boost HGH, which can in turn boost the production of testosterone. The alkaline diet has also been shown to boost the production of healthy viable sperm cells, according to The Alkaline Diet and Fertility, 2015. Through this chapter, it is obvious to see the various benefits of eating alkaline-centric foods. Chapter 3. Repairing the Immune System. The previous chapter has addressed the benefits that the alkaline diet has on the various parts of the body, but this chapter will be addressing the proven benefits that alkaline foods have on the body's immune system. Our body's immune system is a wonderful network of cells and proteins that help aid the body in fighting off infections and diseases that plague people in everyday life. The immune system has a particularly interesting function where it essentially scans the makeup of the infected bodies, diffuses these bodies, and then proceeds to form antibodies against another occurrence of these infections. The immune system, like many other systems in the body, is a multifaceted system. The first aspect of the immune system is the white blood cells. The white blood cells of the body are produced by the bone marrow. The benefits of the alkaline diet have already been mentioned on the skeletal system, which performs the function of protecting the human body, as cited in Nall, 2020. There exists 5 types of white blood cells. The monocytes are a form of white blood cell that have a longer lifespan than other white blood cells and are responsible for the breakdown of bacterial bodies when found in the body. The lymphocytes are the white blood cells that are responsible for creating the antibodies that help the body deal with the encroachment of various forms of harmful invaders. The neutrophils are killing and digesting bacterial and fungal bodies that enter the body. They do this by acting as the first defense for the body when there is a foreign invader in the bloodstream. The basophils, although small in stature, act as the alarms of the immune system and secrete hormones that help manage the body's involuntary immune response. The final form of white blood cells are the eosinophils, which kill the parasites and cancerous cells while also managing the body's allergic response. The second aspect of the immune system is known as the complement system, which is self-explanatory. The complement system is a network of proteins that aid the function of the antibodies of the body. The complement system performs this function via 3 ways. First, the complement system generates a large amount of proteins that bind the pathogens found in the body and makes phagocytes, the essential devouring of the pathogen body. This is a much stronger process by actively marking the pathogens for destruction, as cited in Ghani, 2016. This is of importance because there are some circumstances where the pathogen goes undetected by the body. Second, the proteins of this system have the ability of damaging the membranes, a protective barrier of any cell, by making it more porous. This activity aids in the breakdown of the pathogen. All cellular membranes are strong and can usually survive a barrage of various circumstances, but the third function of this diffuses the survival rate of foreign bacteria when they do enter the body. The third aspect of the immune system is the lymphatic system, which is a delicate network of tubes that runs through your body. Remember when you have a doctor's appointment and your doctor feels your neck? They are externally examining the lymph nodes in your neck, which usually swell when there is a disease or infection in the body. The lymph nodes manage the fluids in the body, actively react to bacteria, fight against cancer cells, deal with the byproducts that result from cellular function, which can also make you sick, and also absorbs the fats from our diet, which the intestine does not deal with, as cited in McGill, 2018. The other aspect of the immune system is the spleen, which can be thought of as the broom of the blood system. The spleen not only vigorously monitors the quality of blood circulating in the system, but it also aids the first line of defense against the infections, as cited in Lewis et al., 2019. The spleen filters out microorganisms that do not belong in the blood by working in conjunction with the lymphatic system and making use of the already discussed leukocytes. The bone marrow, while already mentioned, deserves a brief mention. The bone marrow produces the white and red blood cells that the body needs for proper function, but another importance of the bone marrow is the creation of platelets that are necessary for blood clots, as well as T lymphocytes, which are cancer-fighting and migrate to the thymus, as cited in Nichols, 2017. Blood clotting is another immune response that seeks to protect the body from being further exposed to external pathogens by closing up the wound. There is a reason we tell our children not to pick their scabs. The final aspect is the thymus, which is vital to the functioning of the immune system. The thymus acts as another sentry of the immune system by surveilling against pathogens and monitoring tissue damage, as cited in Thapa and Faber, 2019. You may be thinking, what does this have to do with healing the immune system? Information needs to be given about how the immune system functions before how the immune system heals. The modern lifestyle, through a combination of what is consumed and the fast-paced nature, negatively impacts the immune system in ways that are intermingling due to the high-acid environment that remains after food consumption. While we cannot prevent aging as much as we cannot prevent the sun from rising, aging dampens the body's immune system. Our metabolism and healing ability decrease the older we grow, so why not our immune system? The alkaline diet has been proven to have various anti-aging benefits on the body. The older we grow, the less likely we receive the necessary micronutrients that assist the body. However, the alkaline lifestyle supplements the diet greatly with these necessary micronutrients that aid in the progression of getting older. Our body's metabolism no longer has to waste its energy expenditure on breaking non-alkaline or non-plant-based foods. Instead, that energy is provided throughout the other body's functions that also decrease the closer we get to being over the hill. The alkaline diet also fights against another dampener to the immune system, the external toxins that permeate our air and what we drink. The alkaline diet boosts our body's ability to deal with these external factors. Alcohol, something that the alkaline diet strictly steers away from, has been shown to suppress healthy immune system function, while alkaline water has been proven to boost the immune system through providing the already mentioned micronutrients. The alkaline diet also aids the immune system by decreasing the amount of fat that we carry on our bodies. Obesity, which has also been linked to specific forms of inflammation, has been linked to a decrease in immune system function. Excessive weight has been shown to lead to a decrease in the production of T lymphocytes. The alkaline diet has been shown to improve the body by providing the body with nutritional substances that decrease the amount of weight that is carried in the body, according to DiHeredia et al., 2012. Another important benefit of the alkaline diet already discussed in Chapter 2 is the healing of chronic diseases. Chronic diseases have been shown to decrease the immune function of the body because it lessens the load that the immune system already has to deal with. The alkaline diet greatly alleviates the presence of chronic disease when followed religiously and applied to your life on a daily basis. It was already examined how food affects your mental state, but the mental state also affects your body's immune response. Have you ever experienced an extended period of stress in your life and felt really sick when it all blew over? That is due to your body releasing a large amount of cortisol, which takes part in your body's fight or flight response and has been shown to suppress the immune functionality of the body. What the alkaline diet does to people who severely experience dealing with stress is that it makes the body more likely to deal with the stress constructively. Stress is unfortunately unavoidable, but it can be managed. While that glass of wine and slab of chocolate makes you feel better after a stressful day, it actually increases the amount of stress you do experience. It does not seem worth it now, does it? Another manner the alkaline diet assists the immune system in is by making the quality and quantity of our sleep more fulfilling. Sleep is one of the most vital human functions that allows the body to repair from the damages that the body experiences during the day. The high amount of alkalizing minerals, such as magnesium, aid in sleep, transforming from fits of rolling on the bed looking at the clock to being able to have quality sleep, according to Alkaline Foods and Sleep, 2019. Alkaline foods have been shown to have a soothing effect on the body and aiding the body in rapid eye movement, or REM sleep, which is the type of sleep that is incredibly necessary for the brain to repair itself and not experience the stress that was mentioned to be a contributor to a weaker immune system. Now that the power of the alkaline diet has been addressed in healing the immune system, you are now going to be educated about how to incorporate immune-boosting foods in your diet, which is super easy. All of the healing factors of an alkaline diet largely depend on the micronutrients that the alkaline diet possesses. While vitamin C is usually regarded as being acidic in nature, it has already been proven that there are viable sources of alkalizing positive sources of vitamin C, which helps stave off infections and shorten the length of disease by functioning as an antioxidant, as cited in Carr and Maggini, 2017. Lemons and lemon juice are a viable option. Vitamin E, another antioxidant, assists the body in fighting off the occurrence of infections when they enter the body. A very good source of vitamin E is almond in all of its forms. Vitamin A, another infection fighter, is not only found in meat products, but is also found in plants, arugula and carrots being an example. Folates, which are a natural form of folic acid, also aid in strengthening the immune system and can be found in dark leafy greens such as kale, as cited in Durr et al. 1991. Another important supplement that heals the impaired function of the immune system is iron. Iron is a mineral that is necessary for the replenishment of immune cells, as cited in Barham, 2019. Now, it needs to be known that no single food can boost your immune system, but can a combination? A proper combination of alkaline foods boosts the immune system. What are these foods? Red bell peppers contain 3 times as much vitamin C as the common orange and have been proven to contain a higher amount of beta-carotene, which is naturally converted into vitamin A by the body, as cited in Matthias, 2020. Broccoli is the second on the list of immune-boosting vegetables, and we cannot help but wonder why. Broccoli is charged with minerals, antioxidants, and a plethora of fiber, as cited in Shend, 2019. The key with broccoli, however, is how you consume it. For the full benefit of this powerhouse, it is recommended that it is steamed before consumption to preserve the integrity of the nutrients. Garlic is one of the most commonly used flavor supplements in the world, with various cultures adding it to their cuisine. Garlic possesses a whole host of immune-boosting properties. Garlic has been known to fight off infections, with there being evidence that it prolongs the hardening of the arteries from an excess amount of fat deposits on their lining, and it has potential to lower blood pressure. Garlic's power is due to the high concentration of a sulfur compound. Although fresh garlic is always better, it can be assumed that powdered garlic works more effectively due to powders being more easily accepted into the body chemically. Garlic is usually used in conjunction with ginger for its immune power when someone is feeling under the weather. Ginger has the proven benefits of aiding the body to deal with inflammation of various parts of the body, but particularly the throat. Ginger has the added benefit of being a detoxicant for those nasty critters that plague the immune system, while also being shown to decrease chronic pain and lower negative cholesterol. Spinach, one of the hardiest leafy greens, also deserves inclusion on the list of immune-boosting alkaline foods. Spinach, which should be served either steamed or lightly cooked to make the absorption of vitamin A more capable, brims with antioxidants and vitamin C, while also assisting our infection-fighting capability. Beets are rich in iron, which has been proven to aid in the production of the red blood cells. Mushrooms, an ingenious fungus, contain riboflavin and niacin, which are shown to be vital to the immune system function. Sunflower seeds make the body feel happy, which is quite ironic since the sunflower is one of the happiest flowers in the world. They literally follow the sun, another source of happiness for the people out there who love a good sunbath. Sunflowers are high in nutrients, which include phosphorus, magnesium, and the vitamins B6 and E. Vitamin B6 keeps the immune system strong. Another benefit of introducing sunflower seeds to the diet is the presence of selenium. Selenium is an oxidant that alleviates the oxidative stress on the body and enhances the immune function, as cited in Kubala, 2019. Selenium just is not found from meat, my dear friends. Sweet potatoes, a body-friendly carb, are dense in beta-carotene, which aids the body that is continuously battered with harmful ultraviolet rays and has been shown to boost immune system performance. Any list of immune-boosting foods should always include fruits. Apples create a stronger immune system due to the high amount of pectin fiber, which has been proven to aid and improve upon the immune system. Watermelons, a good addition to any summer day, possess a high amount of the antioxidant glutathione, which strengthens the immune system to fight against infections, according to WebMD, 2019. Kiwi contains a large amount of vitamin C, folate, potassium, and vitamin K. These nutrients have been proven to aid the body's immune system. Papaya contains twice the daily prescribed amount of vitamin C and has been shown to aid inflammation in the body. Spices also have an immune-boosting effect. Turmeric, a go-to spice when making a hearty vegetable curry, acts as an anti-inflammatory that aids in the treatment of osteoporosis and rheumatoid arthritis due to it possessing a high amount of curcumin. Curcumin possesses the potential of being an immune booster and has antiviral properties. Cinnamon, the classic addition to most baked goods, is also immune-boosting. Cinnamon is rich in antioxidants, namely polyphenols and proanthocyanidin, which have both been proven to aid the immune system, as cited in Wood. Another added benefit of the use of cinnamon is its trifecta ability to be antiviral, anti-inflammatory, and antifungal, which has been proven to aid the respiratory function of the body by reducing the onset of disease. Although technically a beverage, green tea should be included in the list of immune boosting. Green tea does not just assist in the breakdown of fat cells, but also provides an added boost to the immune system due to the high amounts of a powerful antioxidant known as epigallocatechin gallate, which enhances the immune function, and the amino acid L-theanine, which possesses the potential of aiding the germ-fighting capabilities of the T cells, as cited in Mechanism Discovered for Health Benefit of Green Tea, New Approach to Autoimmune Disease, 2011. Another beverage to be discussed is soy milk. Soy milk has an immense immune-boosting property because as it is consumed, it literally transforms into powerful antibodies that work through the body, as cited in 8 Health Benefits of Soy Milk, 2018, by Ryan Borchers et al., 2006. All of these foods can be combined in any manner. Whenever you feel sick or generally feel like your immune system needs a boost, an age-old remedy for any malady is mixing together ginger, lemon, and garlic. This combination has been proven to decrease the severity of symptoms over a period of time. Adding a combination of the already mentioned greens into a smoothie with a little bit of either almond or soy milk can introduce these immune boosters into your body in a medium that is more readily acceptable in the body due to liquids being more easily digestible. Adding these herbs into what you cook passively increases your body's immunity over a period of time. Boosting the immune system should always be a conscious effort, but through the use of these foods, it is very likely that there would be the decreased need for added supplementation from dietary supplements. Food is the way that the body fuels itself after all, and all of these can be cooked so deliciously that you will never even notice that you are boosting your immune system until the dreaded flu season kicks into gear and you swat off disease after disease without batting an eyelash. Chapter 4. Fighting Off Chronic Diseases. The preventative aspect of the alkaline diet was already mentioned, which discussed how this eating lifestyle has the potential to heal chronic disease, but this chapter will be addressing the impact of the alkaline diet on diabetes, CKD, and heart disease. Diabetes. Diabetes can be a life-threatening thing, with there being chances of amputation and nerve damage if the disease and diet are left unchecked. This is frightening, but this can be healed with the use of the alkaline diet. It has already been mentioned that the type of diabetes is dependent on whether you have the genetic markers or if you eat a diet that is not good for the insulin-glucose balance in your body, which leads to insulin resistance. An explanation of diabetes needs to be given in order to understand the benefit. Type 1 diabetes, which onsets at a younger age, occurs when the body's immune system attacks the insulin-producing cells of the pancreas, the islets, which sense when glucose enters the bloodstream and produces a balanced amount of insulin to balance the blood sugar level. The resultant of the body harming itself is a lack of insulin, which causes cells to starve from a lack of glucose. When patients suffer from type 2 diabetes, the body does have the capacity to produce insulin, but it is often not enough. What makes this form of diabetes different is the fact that the insulin will attempt to open the cells so that glucose can open and gain the necessary nutrients, but the cells will not open, leading to insulin resistance. When the glucose does not go into the cells, it is instead converted to glycogen, which ends up being stored as fat throughout the body. The power of the alkaline diet rests in how the diet is structured. The diet makes use of plant forms of food that are more readily acceptable in the body. Alkaline foods have already been shown to have a balancing effect on the body, but blood sugar levels also greatly benefit from the alkaline manner of eating. Alkaline foods do not create a spike in the blood glucose levels of the body. Most plant-centric alkaline foods contain an abundance of complex carbohydrates which break down at a slower rate than their cousins, the simple carbohydrates, and release energy over an extended period of time because of the nature of the glucose released. It has been proven that an excessive amount of glucose greatly impairs the insulin functionality of the pancreas. Type 1 diabetes can, however, be treated with alkaline diet and proper supplementation. Studies have shown that an introduction of vitamin D 1 year after a child's birth were 80% less likely to develop this form of diabetes at a later stage in their lives, as cited in Clement, 2010. Another powerful addition of the alkaline diet is the presence of alpha-lipoic acid. This powerful acid has been proven to be an effective treatment of both forms of diabetes and has the potential to reverse diabetes. Alpha-lipoic acid targets the most obvious symptom of an excess amount of glucose by converting it into energy for the body. Alpha-lipoic acid has been shown to regenerate forms of nerve damage caused by excessive glucose levels. Lipoic acid has also been proven to reduce the elevated nature of blood glucose levels by triggering the movement of glucose transporters into the cells. Lipoic acid has also been shown to increase the rate of ATP, adenosine triphosphate, which has been shown to be the body's energy currency. This is not the only part of the alkaline diet that can repair the body from diabetes. Vegetable juice has a proven benefit of reversing type 1 diabetes if it has not transitioned to a chronic disease due to the alkalizing effect on the body. This book has already shown that most diseases breed and strengthen in an environment that is highly acidic in nature due to the breakdown in immune system function. Diabetes can be naturally healed in a variety of ways that do not require the pedantic need to monitor your glucose levels with a monitor and the injection of insulin. Cod liver oil is recommended for pregnant mothers and for children up until the age of 6. Bitter-tasting leafy greens, such as kale, have been shown to reduce the net amount of blood glucose levels in the body when they are measured against a diet that is absent of these vegetables that should be staples of the everyday diet. Vitamin E, already mentioned in the course of this book, has been shown to improve upon the function of the thyroid. A disruption in the function of the thyroid causes increased glucose production in the liver, rapid absorption of glucose in the intestines, and increased insulin resistance as the excess glucose ends up being stored as fat in the cells of the body. This is another attribute of insulin regulation that is often unthought to many sufferers of this preventable and curable disease. Vitamin E has also been shown to heal the sex drive of male diabetics, which is a common symptom of diabetes in males as the excess amount of glucose damages the nerves and blood vessels of the penis. Evening primrose oil, as well as flaxseed oil, has been shown to heal nerve damage caused by an excess of glucose by strengthening the network of nerves in the body. A combination of vitamin B12 and folic acid has been shown to decrease the excess amount of homocysteine, which has been attributed to the hardening of the veins and arteries in the liver and pancreas of those that are diagnosed with diabetes. Another natural health supplement that has been shown to heal a diabetic body in a manner that is very interesting when examined is gelatin. Gelatin is an interesting addition because it has the potential of behaving as an acid or base due to its amorphous nature. Chronic kidney disease. Diabetes is not the only thing that can heal from following the alkaline diet. It has been proven that following an alkaline diet can alleviate the strain that chronic kidney disease has on the body. Like diabetes, chronic kidney disease can be lifelong, with severe cases being forced to live the rest of their lives on a dialysis machine. This is not a fate that many people want for their lives, and doctors themselves feel pain when there is no other option than making use of machines when the body should be able to do it for itself. However, our kidneys thank us for the benefits of the alkaline lifestyle, with all of the stages of CKD actively benefiting from this framework, with doctors consistently recommending this diet. In order to understand the benefits that this diet will provide to the lives of sufferers, there needs to be an explanation of what chronic kidney disease entails. Earlier in this book, the function of the kidneys has been mentioned, but a further explanation is needed. The kidneys are one of the organs in the body that seeks to balance the acid levels of the body through the excretion of acids through the urine, while also breaking down the acids that are found in the body through the use of bicarbonate levels that the body excretes and makes use of. Another organ that suffers when the acid levels of the body are too high when compared to what can be excreted is the intestines, because the intestines are responsible for the excretion of alkaline pancreatic juices. When the body is unable to deal with the acid levels of the body, a condition that is known as metabolic acidosis, which has already been mentioned in the first chapter of this book, occurs in the body. This has been shown to lead to the leaching of calcium in the mineral density of the skeletal system as a means of managing the acid levels of the body due to metabolic acidosis. Metabolic acidosis is a progressive aspect of kidney function degeneration whereby the toxicity levels of the kidney tubules, resulting from the net acid load of the body, causes a low pH of the blood, as well as the tissues, and a high presence of hydrogen ions that act as free radicals that flow through the bloodstream. Metabolic acidosis is only ever regarded as bicarbonate and oxygen levels. The amount of bicarbonate levels in the body are of vital importance because low levels have been proven to lead to increased rates of kidney disease progression, higher bone degradation due to the already mentioned leaching of calcium from the bones, and an increase in mortality, inflammation, and malnutrition. Metabolic acidosis is so dangerous that 48 hours has shown a negative effect on the human body, with there being a potential of kidney stones forming due to the exorbitant amount of uric acid still left in the kidneys. How does the alkaline diet help treat a condition that you regard as being hopeless given all of this information? Well, that is due to the very nature of what the diet entails and what it does to your body. The alkaline diet possesses the ability to reduce the net acid load on the renal facilities of the body by removing meat, eggs, cheese, grains, and alcohol from the already existing diet. This is of importance because during the metabolic process of breaking these down, acids that the body does not need are released, such as lysine, arginine, and histidine, which when broken down generate hydrochloric acid as well as ammonia. Cysteine and methionine are converted to sulfuric acid when broken down. Sulfuric acid has the ability to melt the flesh of your hand, so imagine what it does to the insides of the body. Fruits and vegetables, on the other hand, which this diet will always state, should make up the bulk of your diet and have a very alkalizing effect on the body. When they are metabolized by the body, they release an abundance of potassium salts, such as citrate and malate, which consume the hydrogen ions found floating in the body. The alkaline diet has a host of potassium-rich foods, such as potatoes, and it needs to be remembered that the ability of alkalization depends on the quantity of the foods consumed. All foods are not created equal when it comes to healing CKD, however. There are certain fruits and vegetables that contain a high level of oxalate, which does not get metabolized by the body or does not contribute to the reduction of hydrogen ions, thus they should be consumed sparingly. Meat, or rather meat-based forms of protein, have already been mentioned as being a contributor to the acidity levels of the body, but it depends on the type of protein. Meat-based forms of protein have been shown to lead to a great production of endogenous acids, which are thought to have the potential to contribute to the net acid loads when there is an adequate amount of potassium-rich sources. A study carried out in the African American population had a decrease in kidney function. Doctors have proven that a reduction in the consumption of all forms of meat should be reduced, but the alkaline diet instead states that meat-based forms of protein should be replaced with plant-based forms. Animal forms of protein contain a large amount of phosphorus, which leads to high acidity levels, while vegetable forms of protein contain a form of phosphorus known as phytate, which does not have the same acidifying effect it contains. Another important reason as to why vegetable forms of protein, which will be further addressed in Chapter 5, is that it can contain a large amount of glutamate, which when metabolized consumes hydrogen ions and makes the pH of the body more neutral. Nutrients are a key factor when discussing how to manage chronic kidney disease and will be examined in the study which follows. A study has been carried out in order to measure the effect of oral supplementation of sodium bicarbonate and a diet that is plant-based. During a 30-day study of stage 2 CKD that did not have metabolic acidosis, there was a marked improvement in renal injuries and also a decrease in blood pressure. This will be further analyzed in a discussion about the impact of the alkaline diet on the heart. When this study was replicated with stage 3 patients without metabolic acidosis, the results were the same. Finally, when this study was conducted with stage 4 patients that did present metabolic acidosis for a year, there was once again a decrease in renal injury and improved metabolic acidosis, as cited in Hanley and Whiting, 2013. Heart disease. Heart disease has been proven to be preventable through the use of the alkaline diet. The heart is literally the organ that keeps us alive, but with the modern-day diet, our hearts practically hate us for the food we put into it. Our cholesterol rises, leading to the lining of the arteries being coated with fat. Our blood pressure then rises due to an increase in the thickness of our blood. These conditions build upon each other, but with the alkaline diet, they can be prevented. The alkaline diet reduces the amount of fat and viscosity of the blood because the foods consumed do not contain a large amount of fat. Adding to this preventative ability of the alkaline diet has been shown to reduce the inflammation of inside the walls of veins and arteries. Inflammation has been shown to greatly increase the chances of having a stroke or heart attack. The blood pressure of the heart is marginally decreased through the use of alkaline foods. Through the consumption of the alkaline diet, there has also been evidence shown that the hormonal imbalances of the body are healed. Acid diets have been shown to increase stress-promoting hormones such as estrogen and cortisol, which have been proven to trigger heart disease. Estrogen, when in excess, is particularly dangerous because it has been shown to destroy oxygen in the heart, which inflames the lining of the veins and arteries while also having the potential to expand the walls of the veins carrying blood back to the heart, which postpones the flow of blood to the heart and causes a slower heartbeat. The alkaline diet diffuses this occurrence and generally also decreases the occurrence of heart disease through the micronutrients within the diet. Vitamin E has been shown to heal the cardiovascular system that has been damaged and has the potential to prevent cardiovascular disease. Vitamin E, which is found within the alkaline diet, has an anti-clotting factor and has the ability to oxygenate the blood, which neutralizes acidic waste that injures the lining of the heart. All forms of vitamin B and plant-available folic acid have preventive abilities against heart disease due to decreasing the amount of homocysteine present in the blood. Vitamin B is vital for this because they break down the presence of homocysteine in the body. Studies have shown that increasing the intake of vitamin B plant-based sources decreases the chances of a heart attack by half. The alkaline diet also contains magnesium, which has been proven to prevent heart disease. Magnesium is vital for the proper beating of the heart. An improper heart rhythm has been associated with an increase in stroke chances while also reducing the blood pressure and dilating the arteries. The presence of magnesium in the alkaline diet has also been shown to remove the presence of calcium in the cells of the heart by removing it. In the modern diet, calcification of the arteries has been proven to lead to heart disease. Vitamin C is not only beneficial to the immune system, as already discussed, but also provides many benefits to the heart, and it does not have to be found in the form of pills. Vitamin C has been shown to decrease blood pressure because it acts as a diuretic that removes excess fluids from the body, which does possess the potential to remove unnecessary fluids from the heart, while also relaxing the veins and arteries. Vitamin C has also been proven to remove plaque from the lining of the arteries and veins, which works in conjunction with magnesium. The alkaline diet has been proven to increase niacin, which also has been proven to prevent excess and unhealthy cholesterol, as well as balancing the blood pressure. With all the information provided, you can see for yourselves just how powerful the alkaline diet is in preventing and treating any form of disease. Chapter 5. Common Myths About Plant-Based Diets and the Alkaline Diet. Now, I'm going to tell you, as truthfully as possible, that any diet you will be partaking in will always have a few naysayers who laugh at you trying to be healthy and wonder why you cannot just be normal or why you are doing this to yourself. You can attribute it to concern, and sometimes you can attribute it to outright jealousy. Either way, there will always be people talking about the lifestyle changes that you are making for your life. This cannot be avoided, unfortunately, because people will always talk. The chapter of this book will be addressing these myths and providing explanation behind why these myths are just fallacy on the parts of the people who claim them to be genuine truth. The first myth to be discussed is the fact that plant-based diets are always so healthy, as cited in Zayed, 2019. This is a complete lie, but it needs further explanation as it can be confusing. Plant-based diets are usually healthy due to the abundance of plants and nutrients, but there are situations where they transition from being so good for you to being much unhealthier than people might think. For example, a McDonald's vegetarian burger and fries, although not alkaline, can be regarded as being plant-based. However, they are so filled with fat and artificial flavoring that they are quite unhealthy for the person eating. A healthy eating plan is all dependent on what and how they are eating. There exists a trend in many plant-based alternatives where they make use of fat and sugar in order to boost the taste of the food, with there being many meat alternatives being high in sodium. Vegetarian burgers have a much higher sodium content than normal ground beef burgers. Human beings love food that tastes good and will always go back when they are palatable. You can still be immensely unhealthy and follow a plant-based eating plan, which links to the second myth of plant-based diets. Plant-based diets have been associated with a guarantee for weight loss, which can be attributed to a lower net amount of calories and more fiber in the diet. While this should not be dismissed, as there is a large amount of evidence that claims weight practically melts off when a plant-based diet is followed, and evidence that diabetes patients have a decrease in overall body weight, the previous myth has shown that this is not always true. You can still eat far too many calories, which were mentioned earlier in this book. For sustainable weight loss, there should be a combination of regular exercise and eating a plant-based diet. Another common myth from the gym rats of the world, you know which ones I'm talking about because they probably exist in your life too, is that plant-based diets have a severe lack of protein, as cited in Zayed, 2019. The world has associated the word protein with animal-based products for so long that they are thought of as mutually inclusive, but this is far from the truth. There exist many forms of plant-based protein which the body thrives on, such as soy. 100 grams of soy contains 49.2 grams of protein, while beef contains 23 grams, as cited in Soy vs. Beef for Protein, Optimum Nutrition, U.S., 2017. This should show you that animal-based products are not the only viable sources. Protein has also been shown to be present in plants, naming spinach and asparagus as a few. But there should be an understanding that you need to eat more plant-based proteins to get the adequate amount needed. Another common myth is the idea that plant-based eaters cannot pack on muscle mass because you need meat. This is once again thanks to the gym rats. Protein is vital for building muscle, so their statement almost makes sense, but they are incredibly uneducated. Protein can be found in abundance in the plant kingdom. Regarding the plant kingdom, a myth exists that you need to eat a combination in order to acquire complete protein. This cannot be further from the truth. Although plant-based proteins have a limited amount of amino acids that are found in animal-based proteins, the body has the amazing ability to combine the plant-based proteins to form a complete protein. Another common myth that is centered around meat is the idea that meat is required in order for a person to have adequate amounts of iron in their diet. There are many anemic plant-based jokes, but these jokes do not have an actual basis. While it is true that meat has iron that is more readily accepted into the body, dark leafy greens have varying amounts of iron. A study has also shown that the use of vitamin C has the potential of making plant-based iron more readily accepted into the body. Many people have debunked plant-based forms of eating because there is a lack of nutrient diversity. This myth is not only wrong, but also incredibly dangerous. The main vitamin that is missing in the plant-based diet is B12. B12 has been proven to be found in large quantities in a wide variety of plant-based sources and fortified plant-based milks. There exists a consensus that the body needs dairy in order to function properly and for bone health to be at its optimum. Yet, an understanding is needed that when people mean milk, they mean calcium. While milk is regarded as being safe for the alkaline diet in certain plant-based diets, such as vegetarianism, there exist many plant-based forms of calcium which have the needed quantities of calcium. Since calcium was brought up, there is the idea that pregnant women need a combination of meat and dairy for the fetus to fully develop. It should not be dismissed that a healthy diet, free from alcohol and nicotine, is needed for the fetus to reach full maturity and for the baby to be healthy once delivered. Animal-based products are not necessary. There also exists this idea that there are not that many plant-based options to eat. While there is nothing wrong with some takeout here and there, it is simply not healthy. There exist many takeout options that are easy on the wallet and pack a punch when done right. There has also been an increase in the amount of plant-based foods in many American food hotspots, more than just a salad. There seems to be an assumption that pregnant women need a combination of meat and dairy, which is also a myth. Yes, the developing fetus does need a whole host of nutrients to fully develop, but all of these nutrients are readily found in plant-based items. While it does take a lot of planning on the part of the expectant mother to make up a meal plan that does provide enough nutrients for the bun in the oven, plant-based diets do possess a wide amount of nutrients that are needed by the mother and child. It is possible that plant-based diets can be modified to ensure that mothers get their nutrients. Pregnancy is very taxing on mothers-to-be, but the plant-based diet does provide benefits. The lethargy of mothers-to-be, from carrying around their bundles of joy, can be replaced with boundless energy to paint that nursery and assemble the crib. All that heartburn and morning sickness can be healed with a tonic of ginger water. Plant-based diets are healthy for everyone, including your kids. Kids are very picky eaters. No one can fight that. But there is this idea that kids just do not like their greens. This is simply not the truth. Kids enjoy all forms of food when it is cooked well, and they are involved in the process of selecting what is going to be cooked. There is nothing more exciting for a child than deciding what actually goes into the food that goes into their tummies. This teaches children that veggies are an important part of their lives and can be delicious. For example, I do not know a single child that does not like dinosaur nuggets, but how about showing them how to make these nuggets from cauliflower? Not only does it taste good, but it is also highly nutritious. There's also this wrong mentality that plant-based diets centered around eating soy products leads to an increased chance of developing breast cancer in women. While an increased estrogen production has been shown when soy products are consumed, the correlation between increased chance of breast cancer and soy consumption is weak at best. Soy has been proven to increase the function of the immune system from the moment of consumption. The final myth to be discussed is the idea that one cannot live without meat. There are so many healthier plant-based alternatives that have the ingenious ability to mimic meat to such an extent that the difference is minuscule to eaters. There have been many lifelong meat eaters who got tired of weighing the body down and decided to change up their diets. Not only do they feel healthier, because face it, a single day of healthy eating makes us feel like we can take on the world, but they also report having a higher quality of life when they compare it to their lives of being meat eaters. They feel and heal better. They have more energy. Their senses are able to process the world in high definition. From a spiritual perspective, they feel more in tune with the universe and feel at greater ease with their place in the world. Plant-based lifestyles can easily become your everyday if you are patient and kind with yourself. There exists a whole host of scientific facts that prove that plant-based diets are incredibly beneficial to the human body. A few of the previous chapters have already shown this in great detail, so there's no need to repeat some of these facts. Yet for a quick recap, here are the facts. Plant-based diets have been proven to greatly impact upon the health of one's heart by reducing hypertension. This eating framework greatly reduces the strain on the heart and prevents stroke. Cancer has already been mentioned, but plant-based diets have been recommended due to the amount of nutrients that have been regarded as being cancer-fighting, both for patients who have been diagnosed and recovered warriors. Plant-based diets have been proven to increase the amount of life that a person can live. This is due to the amount of nutrients that are highly protective in nature and have been shown to decrease the rate of mortality in one's life. Mortality is due to how the body is nourished and treated by the soul carrying the body. Plant-based diets remove the many diseases that trigger a higher rate of mortality. For example, it has already been stated in the course of the book that plant-based diets lower the rate of unhealthy cholesterol, which has been attributed to a higher mortality. Another powerful scientific fact about using a plant-based framework is the effect that it has on the brain. There have been many reports that plant-based diets improve upon brain functionality, with there being reports that Alzheimer's patients also benefit. This is due to the high amount of polyphenols in fruit and vegetables, which have been shown to decrease the rate of cognitive degeneration and slow down the rate of Alzheimer's progression. Science has proven that plant-based diets greatly improve upon the amount of energy that a person can expend. This is due in part to the longer-term breakdown of the glucose molecules found in plant-based diets, as they are normally the already mentioned complex carbohydrates. However, they also improve the functionality of oxygen transportation in the organs and tissues. While these myths are just myths, there are a few pros and cons that need to be addressed before partaking upon this journey. The plant-based diet greatly decreases how large a person's carbon footprint is, according to studies. Farming animals, especially cows, create a large amount of methane which goes into the atmosphere and damages the depleting ozone layer. However, the cultivation of plants not only improves upon the ozone by diminishing greenhouse gases, but also improves upon oxygen quality of the planet as a whole. This argument also possesses a con. There have been reports that there is a decrease in the amount of soil quality when plants are solely farmed. However, any farmer worth their weight in salt knows that there should be a rotation of crops cultivated. A large number of vegans choose to adopt this lifestyle due to the treatment of animals in some farms. There are many PETA videos showcasing the cruelty that animals do face in these farms. However, it should be remembered that these farms do not follow the regulations of the Animal Welfare Act of the United States Department of Agriculture and Plant Health Inspection Service. There are many farms that pay homage to the sacrifice that the animals are undertaking and treat them very well. Another pro for plant-based diet is very surprising when investigated. These diets are shown to not be restrictive in nature, as the amount of combinations that one can make to give a wholesome meal are boundless. One of the cons of the plant-based diet is the fact that you cannot just transition from animal-based to this lifestyle. While there are reports that many people just decided to give up meat one day do manage to live the rest of their lives on the plant-based lifestyle, for many, such a quick transition is not easy. Changing from an animal basis to plants also takes changing your entire life. Your life for the longest time has been centered around animal products, and your brain is filled with information that you need them to live. This will not only require education on your part, but also a large amount of willpower. Your brain has gotten used to 4th of July barbecues, and you will end up feeling like you are missing out. However, you need to remain strong because the health benefits are completely worth it. Although temporary, removing meat from one's diet can have an effect. There are many who have stated that they feel ill when meat is removed from the body. This is completely normal, as the body is detoxing from all chemicals that are pumped into the meat and is adjusting to receiving nutrients from a plant base. Another con that makes people balk at the idea of transitioning to plant-based diets is the idea that you will have to cook everything by yourself. While this is a good thing, as many people in the modern age do not have the ability to recognize what goes on their plates, this is very difficult. The former meat eater does not have a repertoire of having an extensive list of recipes that are plant-based in their minds due to all these years of feeling like meat is your only option. This will take a lot of experimentation and research, but it does not have to be all bad. This can be a fun process that both educates and fills you with more satisfaction than a full stomach. While food preparation can be time-consuming, the best way to go about it is preparing food for the entire week on a weekend. This ensures that you have actually cooked, but also keeps you accountable to yourself, which is something that plant-based eating actively requires. Another possible con, which has already been discussed in this chapter with the mention of the myth, is difficulty getting nutrients in. This will be very difficult for a former meat eater, but this once again will require a lot of patience and education. The person transitioning will need to research recipe combinations that will provide all the necessary nutrients, but will also need to make them varied. This is easy, however, because many plant-based recipes take this into account and combine them. All forms of eating have their own downfalls, yet plant-based diets are not only easy when given the right direction, but contain far more benefits than eating the common Western diet. They are not only good for you, but can be immensely entertaining. Imagine sitting down to a meal that you have educated yourself for and cooked yourself while everyone else is busy weighing their bodies down. You will be shocked that it really was the life you used to live as you take a bite of your plant-based burrito. Trust me. Chapter 6. Why is oregano fantastic for your overall health and wellness? Chapter 4 lightly addressed the powers that some herbs have in not only tasting good, but also in the benefit that they have to your overall health and ability to fight off a myriad of diseases and illnesses. However, in these subsequent chapters, there shall be a deeper dive into some herbs not mentioned. The topic of this chapter is the wonderful herb known as oregano, which comes in 10 regional variants. Plants can be that varied and amazing just from the location they are cultivated through the power of evolution and natural selection. All forms of oregano belong to the genus Origanum family, which belongs to the mint family, Lamiaceae. A large portion of the herbs that we use to enhance our culinary experience actually belong to the mint family, which does make sense, considering that a true culinary herb needs to be palatable and accepted by the body. The first type of plant that belongs to this genus to be discussed is the most commonly used form of oregano, scientifically known as Origanum vulgare, subspecies hirtum, as cited in Jimenez, 2018. This type of oregano, which was named as a combination of the Greek words oros for mountain and ganos for joy, has long existed in Grecian society stretching back all the way from 3000 BC. There were reports that Grecian oregano was used in the worship of the Greek goddess Aphrodite, the goddess of love, for attracting joy and love into the home. Oregano then moved to other areas of the Mediterranean due to being easy to cultivate and complementing their already existing cuisine. This form of oregano is a perennial plant which can grow up to 4 years in a moderate climate, but in colder climates, it has been shown to behave as an annual plant. This plant grows as a shrub with round leaves, so it is not only easy to cultivate, but also easy to identify. Greek oregano has a hot and peppery taste, yet despite this, it can be very refreshing to the palate. Dittany of Crete, Origanum dictamnus, is a form of oregano that is also found in Greece. This variant of oregano has woolly-looking leaves, having a flavor profile that is strong, sharp, and slightly bitter with a mixture of oregano and thyme flavors. Syrian oregano, Origanum syriacum, is another variant of oregano that grew when oregano was introduced to the Middle East. This form of oregano is commonly known as za'atar by residents of the Middle East due to it being dried and used in spice combinations. This variant of oregano has white flower buds that can be eaten and possess a very concentrated taste, while the rest of the plant is highly aromatic in nature when compared to the other variants. A large amount of Eastern dishes are heavily aromatic in taste, so za'atar is usually found in many Middle Eastern dishes. The flavor profile of this variant can be thought of as a combination between Syrian oregano and thyme, with hints of marjoram, another variant of oregano. Marjoram, Origanum majorana, is a native plant of Western Asia, the Mediterranean, Cyprus, Turkey, as well as the Arabian Peninsula and the Levant. Marjoram was used by the ancient Greeks and Romans due to the belief that it brought prosperity to the home. Marjoram has a very broad folklore background, with it being associated with attracting love to a female who wields it. What makes this variant of marjoram different is due to its flavor profile combining woody, citrus, and floral tastes. Marjoram is much milder than standard oregano and is very similar to thyme in taste, but much sweeter with a stronger scent with a hint of bitterness. Although sometimes being synonymous with marjoram, pot marjoram, when examined, is slightly different. As the name suggests, pot marjoram is easily grown in the home and possesses very distinctive light pink buds. It is not as sweet as traditional marjoram, but does have a more poignant flavor. Golden oregano, Origanum vulgare aureum, has been commonly known as golden marjoram. This type of oregano has a hardy nature that enables it to grow in any type of soil, but does require full sunlight. Golden oregano gets its name from its distinctive golden foliage with pink and purple flowers, being fragrant and possessing that classic oregano taste. Italian oregano is another regional variant of this common flavorsome plant, which has a sweet taste that is a combination of traditional oregano and marjoram commonly found on pizza. We all love a good pizza, do we not? There are also variants of oregano that do not belong to the genus of most oregano, but do count as oregano. Cuban oregano, Plectranthus amboinicus, despite its name, is actually distinctively a plant that is from the continent of India, with the common name being Indian borage, but does belong to the mint family, as cited in Jimenez, 2018. This plant has distinctive thick, fuzzy leaves that are serrated along some of the edges, while some of the variants of this plant species possess variegated colors and deeper teeth margins. The flavor profile of this plant is close to the traditional oregano flavor, with a slight pinch of thyme thrown in, and boasts a strong, pungent, and musky aroma when sniffed. Mexican oregano, Lipia graveolens, is another oregano plant that does not belong to the common genus of oregano, but does boast a similar flavor. This form of oregano is a star in many Mexican dishes due to the fact that its flavor profile is an intricate mixture of citrus flavors and has a hint of licorice. However, Mexican oregano is not as durable as other variants and should be handled with care and a lot of love if you decide to grow this herb. Like all herbs, oregano is not only good for consumption in the edible strains, but also boasts a whole plethora of health benefits. Although most oregano portions are small, they possess a large amount of vitamin K, clocking in at about 8% of the daily requirement. Oregano can do so much more than this, though. The first benefit of oregano to be discussed is the rich presence of antioxidants in this small yet powerful plant. Oregano has a large presence of 3 powerful antioxidants: thymol, rosmarinic acid, and carvacrol. Thymol is a powerful antioxidant that is shown to decrease the presence of free radicals in the body and heal the damage that these free radicals possess on the human body cells, while also having the ability to boost the immune system and fight off fungal infections and protect the body against toxins, as cited in Nagor Miran et al., 2017. Rosmarinic acid is another powerful antioxidant that helps fight against the presence of free radicals in the body and has been shown to possess the potential to heal the body from the damage that free radicals have caused, as cited in Alkaline et al., 2017. This is due in part to its ability to protect the lipids from hydrophobic radicals. Carvacrol is the last powerful antioxidant found in oregano, and it has a large amount of superpowers. Firstly, it is antimicrobial, as cited in Rowles 2020 and Sharifi Rad et al. 2018. This means that it has the interesting ability to be able to aid the body in breaking down the microorganisms that can be illness-causing in the body, but does little or no harm to the body that it enters. The most common form of antimicrobial substance is antibiotics. Secondly, it is anti-tumor, as cited in Glassman. This antioxidant has the power to break down the formation of tumor cells in the body which occur when there is abnormal cell growth in the tissues, which is closely linked to the formation of cancer cells. For those of you that do not know this, the body naturally fights the formation of cancer cells on a daily basis, as certain forms of cancer are already existent in the body, but cancer only forms when this abnormal cell growth extends beyond the body's ability to deal with it by continuing to mutate, resulting in these abnormal cells overgrowing. This closely ties into the third ability of this form of antioxidant, being antimutagenic. This antioxidant diffuses the rate of mutation within the cells of the body, which are a main contributor to cancer formation. Another power of this antioxidant is its anti-genotoxic ability. Genotoxicity refers to the ability of a substance to inherently damage the genetic materials of the body, stretching from not only to the DNA of the person, but also the cellular functions and behaviors of the chromosomes of the cell. This is very dangerous, as the true function of the cell lies in the chromosomes of the body cells when they are produced, and when they meet their eventual demise through being exhausted, they get replaced. An anti-genotoxic substance has the ability to prevent and counter this eventual cellular death by protecting the cell from the damaging chemicals. The fifth ability of this antioxidant is its analgesic ability, which can be a natural alternative to treating the pains that the body experiences. This can show you that through diet, there's no use to consume over-the-counter medication, or if you really need a natural alternative, white willow bark is also viable. The sixth ability of this antioxidant is its antispasmodic ability, which has the power to naturally treat muscle spasms through either lowering their rate, relieving, or preventing them. This antioxidant also has the power of being anti-inflammatory, which makes it a central component to the alkaline diet. This antioxidant also possesses the ability of being angiogenic, which has been shown to improve upon the formation of new blood vessels when the old ones need to be replaced, ensuring that the circulatory system transports vital oxygen to the tissue and organs. This form of antioxidant also possesses the power of being antiparasitic, being able to combat parasites such as flatworms and tapeworms when they enter the human body. This is done by making the environment that the parasite calls home inhospitable. Carvacrol has also been shown to have an antiplatelet ability. While the forming of platelets is an important part of the body, protecting itself from external diseases entering a wound due to the blood cells clotting together and literally blocking any entrance, heart attacks and strokes have been attributed to clots being formed in the heart, as cited in Johnson, 2019. The most common medication that prevents this is aspirin. This antioxidant has also been shown to be antihepatotoxic. Hepatotoxicity is a condition where the liver tissues are badly damaged by the immense presence of harmful drugs in the body. This antioxidant protects against damage that drugs cause to the liver in all forms. While medication should be adhered to, there always exists the fear that these medications will damage the internal organs beyond repair. Yet with this antioxidant, you can rest assured that your body will be protected due to this antioxidant also functioning as a hepatoprotective. Oregano has also been attributed to being antiseptic due to a high presence of the above-mentioned antioxidants and can be used to treat scrapes and bruises but elicits a slight sting when applied, so be careful. Oregano has also been shown to possess the presence of antihistamines, which aid the body in dealing with allergic reactions by making them less severe for the body to deal with. Finally, oregano has been proven to be antibacterial based on the combination of these antioxidants. Above the powers of the antioxidants, oregano also possesses other useful benefits. Type 2 diabetes is improved when oregano is introduced to the diet, with there being an improvement in insulin resistance, the regulation of gene expression that affects fat and carbohydrate metabolism, and has been shown to have the potential to heal the damage to the kidneys and liver, as cited in Johnson, 2019. Oregano oil also has a topical nature and can be applied to various skin conditions, such as acne, and can be used as an ointment for insect bites. Oregano has also been shown to improve gut health. Oregano is an herb that is easy to introduce into your already existent diet and can be eaten raw, but this is very boring. In order to get the maximum taste and use of any form of oregano, the type of oregano needs to be considered. The first way that oregano can be used is by making a wonderful and tasty pesto. This can be done by combining fresh oregano, peeled garlic, raw almonds, and olive oil with a pinch of salt and pepper to add extra taste to the pesto. This pesto can be used for anything from being smeared on soy meat replacements to being combined with plant-based pastas. Speaking of pastas, oregano can also add a powerful punch to plant-based pasta. For an alkaline-modified Greek pasta salad, to get the true Grecian experience, Greek oregano should be used. However, if you're in a pinch or want to experiment, any oregano can be used. This recipe calls for pasta, but can easily be replaced with vegetable pastas. This recipe also includes cucumber for its refreshing taste, red bell pepper for the crunch, tomatoes that are juicy and bursting with flavor, red onions, parsley, oregano, lemon for extra zest, olive oil, and for those that feel like they cannot give up the texture of cheese, vegan cheese. Firstly, make the pasta from your vegetable source by thinly slicing them. Then, proceed to cut the other vegetables based on your desired consistency, but it is recommended that you slice and then cube your vegetables. For a one-pot method, combine all of the ingredients, drizzle the tops of the salads with the juice of 1 or 2 lemons, add a tablespoon of olive oil, and then toss it together to combine the flavors. This recipe is not only healthy, but is also very light on the stomach and very refreshing. Although this has been regarded as a side dish, this can be a quick and easy main dish for anyone in a pinch. Baked tomatoes with oregano taste just like pizza. The ingredients needed are 4 large tomatoes, which will need to be sliced, grated vegan cheese, 1 clove of minced garlic, 2 sprigs of fresh parsley, which will be chopped, a half teaspoon of oregano, and 1 tablespoon of olive oil. You firstly preheat the oven to 400 degrees Fahrenheit while also coating the pan in cooking spray so there is no messy sticking. Arrange and place the tomato slices on the tray while sprinkling them with vegan cheese, gluten-free flour, and garlic. Finally, you add the seasonings in order to taste. You then proceed to bake the tomatoes for 20 minutes or until the cheese is golden brown. You can also make eggplant and garlic confit. While confit is a cooking technique that is normally used to preserve meats by cooking them in their own fat, this does not mean that it can never be applied to vegetables. The ingredients needed are 3 Chinese eggplants, 12 cloves of garlic that need to be peeled with their stems trimmed, 8 cups of a plant-based oil, kosher salt, balsamic vinegar, bouquet garni, and fresh oregano. You first begin by preheating the oven to 400 degrees Fahrenheit. Following this, you remove the tops and bottoms of the eggplant, then cut them in halves by their length. After this, you lightly fry the surface and salt them. You then rest the eggplant flesh on a paper towel to absorb the moisture and excess oil. You then lay the eggplant in a baking dish, adding the garlic and bouquet garni. After this, heat the oil to 250 degrees Fahrenheit and ladle the oil over the eggplants gently. However, ensure that the eggplants are submerged by using a wire cake rack. You place the eggplants back into the oven and wait for 45 minutes, ensuring that the texture is creamy. You then arrange the eggplant and finish with drizzling balsamic vinegar and salt to taste. Za'atar was mentioned earlier, but here is the recipe for making this powerful spice mix. For this recipe, Syrian oregano should be used. This recipe calls for 1 tablespoon of dried oregano, cumin, coriander, toasted sesame seeds, and sumac, with the addition of half a teaspoon of kosher salt and a little bit of chili flakes. This recipe just requires you mixing the ingredients together and storing them in an airtight container. That is all. Food does not always have to be complicated. Chapter 7. The benefits of incorporating basil into your daily diet. Basil, Ocimum basilicum, is another plant that belongs in the mint, Lamiaceae family. Basil, like most herbs, is a very old plant that has the recorded history of being existent for more than 5,000 years. Basil is a native plant of India and has been a part of Indian culture for many years. It has been shown to be present in the tropical areas of Asia. Basil was then introduced to Britain in the 16th century before it got introduced to North America via the spice trade routes. This plant was then further propagated and spread to such an extent that it is included in many cuisines around the world. Basil does possess very strong folklore beliefs that link with what the plant does to your body when consumed. Ancient Vedic beliefs have associated the herb basil with the astrological star sign Scorpio due to the belief that this plant brought about scorpions both externally and when consumed, as cited in Gilchrist. Another form of basil, which will be discussed in the variants of basil later in this chapter, is holy basil, which is also known as Tulsi in Vedic culture. This form of basil has been attributed to the goddess Tulsi, as cited in Pierce, 2018. This form of basil is synonymous with love, wealth, protection, and purification. During the British presence in India, oaths were sworn on the Bible with basil being placed. This form of basil has also been used in many Vedic exorcisms, as cited in Pierce, 2018. Normal basil has been attributed with good luck and the ability to attract wealth. There are many variants of basil, which all have a need to be in your kitchen and daily life, although a warning should be given for those that want to grow this herb by themselves. It requires a lot of love and care, needing full sun. The first variant of basil is the most common type of basil, sweet basil. Sweet basil, Ocimum basilicum, has a taste that is reminiscent of clove with some peppery punch and the tiniest hint of mint. This type of basil has round cup-shaped leaves that are strongly scented. The second variant is lemon basil, Ocimum X citriodorum, and is very popular in Indonesia. True to the name of this popular plant, this variant possesses a mild lemony scent and flavor with silver-green leaves. Lime basil, Ocimum X africanum, has a taste profile that is sweet and fragrant with a mild citrus taste that pairs well with lemon basil. This variant or cultivar of basil has bright green lanced-shaped leaves. Another citrus-packed variant of basil is Mrs. Burns lemon basil, Ocimum basilicum X citriodora, which possesses a taste that is slightly reminiscent of lemon basil, but is more intense with the great ability to grow well in various conditions due to originating from New Mexico. The fourth variant of basil is known as Thai basil, Oricum bacillium harapha, which goes by the name of Bai harapha in Thai culture. This form of basil has leaves that carry a very sweet licorice and peppery aroma, and when eaten, has a very strong licorice taste that practically coats the mouth. The leaves of this variant are a shiny green and slightly serrated with narrow leaves, and the stem of this plant is purple and square-shaped. Another form of Thai basil is Thai lemon basil, which goes by the genus of Ocimum X citriodorum. This form of basil possesses leaves that have a very citrusy aroma and taste that is reminiscent of a lemon drop, due to this plant boasting a very citrusy flavor profile. The fifth type of basil is known as Greek basil, Ocimum bacillium Greek. The ancient Greek name for this plant is Vasilios, due to the plant being considered holy and likened to a plant of royalty in ancient Greece akin to the Indian folklore mentioned above. The flavor makeup of this variant is sweet and aromatic with the faintest hints of anise, mint, and sometimes even pepper. The leaves of this plant grow in a globular manner with thin leaves which are small but possess a very palatable scent. A cultivar of this type of basil is known as Greek column basil. This type of basil can only be grown from the cuttings of normal Greek basil and grow in a columnar fashion due to its name, but has all the properties of regular Greek basil. For the home cultivators reading this book, or the people who want to grow their own plants, this type of basil grows more leaves due to growing in a column. Clove basil possesses the singular genus of Ocimum gratissimum, but has been shown to go by the names of African basil, wild basil in Hawaii, Himalayan basil, tree basil due to how large the plant grows, and East Indian basil. This type of basil has leaves that are smaller than the average basil plant, which are elliptical in shape and have coarse, serrated edges. The flowers of this variant, when the plant is mature, are also edible, producing feathery white flowers that have a bitter taste when consumed, compared to the sweet and spicy taste of the leaves. When the fingers rub these leaves, a clove-like aroma that is very intense is released and has a smidge of thyme thrown in to make the flavor profile much more nuanced when experienced by the palate. Dark opal basil goes by the typical classification of normal basil, but this plant is no clone. This variant hosts leaves that are medium-sized, which are oval-shaped and taper to a distinct point. These leaves are smooth and visibly veined, coming in various shades of purple, green, and burgundy. However, the color varies depending on how mature the plant is. The stem ranges from dark red to purple and can be eaten due to being crunchy and fibrous. Opal basil has a taste that is jam-packed with aroma and is very spicy reminiscent. The leaves have a sweet, savory, and earthy flavor, with there being a mixture of some common spices, such as ginger and cinnamon. However, this variant is notoriously difficult to cultivate, even in the most gifted green thumbs. This should not deter you, though. Going in the vein of this colored basil, purple basil should also be discussed. Purple basil has leaves that are darkest out of all the other purple-tinted basil varieties and has leaves that are smaller. However, due to its small size, it is packed with a striking deep purple color that almost looks black in certain lighting. Like all forms of purple basil, this plant is incredibly fragrant when sniffed and has a flavor profile that is clove and mint. The final purple basil to be discussed is purple ruffles basil, which also has the genus of purple basil. The leaves of this plant are large and have a ruffled, frilly appearance. This plant has a milder taste than traditional basil, but still has the spice-like qualities. African blue basil, Ocimum kilimanjaricum ex basilicum, is a hybrid between dark opal basil and camphor basil, which has too strong a flavor for it to be used for conventional cooking. Unlike its progenitor, all parts of this plant can be used for cooking and has a flavor that is not unlike camphor. The leaves of this plant begin their growth as purple, but when they reach their maturity, become green with purple veins due to its other ancestor, purple opal basil. Due to being a hybrid, this plant does not grow any seeds and can only be propagated through cuttings. The final variant of basil to be discussed is cinnamon basil, Ocimum basilicum cinnamon, which is found in Mexico. This basil variant has dark green leaves and a stem that is cinnamon-toned, with the leaves releasing a cinnamon scent when rubbed and chewed. All forms of basil have been shown to have a great impact on the health of the person who consumes it, but it is dependent on what type of basil you consume. It should first be known that basil is rich in vitamins C, K, and A, as well as calcium, magnesium, zinc, manganese, and potassium. All these vitamins and minerals have already been addressed. This plant is also high in the antioxidants lutein, zeaxanthin, beta-carotene, and beta-cryptoxanthin. Lutein has been found to be anti-inflammatory, with there being large evidence that this antioxidant has many benefits to eye health, with the ability to improve upon or even prevent age-related diseases that are the leading causes behind vision impairment and blindness. This antioxidant, like many that are found in the alkaline diet, has been shown to break down free radicals from damaging cells that have been shown to lead to the progression of other diseases. Zeaxanthin is another antioxidant that is pro-eye health, with this antioxidant going directly to the eyes when consumed. This antioxidant not only also fights against free radicals, but is also central in the production of a yellow-colored pigment that protects the eyes from potentially harmful UV rays, as cited in O'Brien, 2018. This antioxidant has been shown to slow the formation of cataracts, the clouding of the lenses of the eye, reduce the inflammation of the eye due to uveitis, and has been shown to assist in diabetic retinopathy, the degradation of the eyes due to damage in the blood vessels in the retina. Beta-cryptoxanthin has several benefits that go above its antioxidant nature. This antioxidant aids in cell-to-cell communication and has been shown to be a precursor to vitamin A, which has already been shown to be vital for bodily function, as cited in Burry, 2014. Basil has many benefits, but in order to obtain the full benefits, it is recommended that it be consumed fresh instead of dried, as the vital nutrients of this plant decrease when it is dried. Basil has been shown to improve upon the memory function of those that consume it, and has been shown to decrease age and stress-related decreases in memory due to assisting the function of the hippocampus, the part of the brain that governs memory, and reduces the effect that corticosterone has on the brain, as cited in Kranz, 2014, and McCullough, 2019. There is a reason that when stress is too high, there is usually a bad memory accompanying it, all thanks to corticosterone. Second, sweet basil contains a compound known as eugenol, while lemon and lime basil contains the compounds limonene. These compounds, when combined with the above-mentioned antioxidants, have been shown to greatly reduce the presence of free radicals and have been shown to reduce the oxidative stress imposed on the cells of the body. A high oxidative state has been shown to lead to a whole number of diseases due to the body not being able to cope with the load. Holy basil has been shown to be cancer preventative. This is due to the high presence of phytochemicals, which have been shown to fight all forms of cancer against the different types of cancer such as skin or liver cancer. Third, sweet basil has been shown to decrease the amount of depression that a person experiences due to stress-related factors, once again impairing the effect of corticosterone on the hippocampus. Sweet basil has been shown to reduce damage from strokes, regardless of whether it has been introduced before or after the stroke. This type of basil has been shown to improve upon the body's fasting blood sugar, cholesterol, and triglycerides. Another benefit of this type of basil is the ability to reduce blood pressure in patients that have hypertension due to having the ability to thin the blood and relax the blood vessels, as cited in Ponce 2015 and Wong 2020. Fourth, basil also heals and protects the heart from heart disease. The eugenol in basil removes calcium from the lining of the heart due to being a calcium antagonist and allows for the excess calcium to be removed via the urine stream. Fifth, sweet basil has been shown to protect the gut from ulcers which can form from taking aspirin. From an aromatherapy perspective, sweet basil can be inhaled to boost mental clarity and alertness. This will definitely assist all those students pulling those all-nighters to get that perfect GPA. There are also studies that exist which show that sweet basil can inhibit bacterial growth in the mouth that causes tooth decay. Basil has also been shown to be an alternative to antibiotics and can be used to treat resistant bacteria. There are also many home remedies that incorporate basil, with there being the use of this herb to treat nausea and vomiting, while the oil has been shown to improve acne, as cited in Ponce 2015 and Wong 2020. In order to get the full benefit of this herb, it is best to eat it raw, but you can also use it in many other recipes. All forms of basil can be added to any salad, and it is recommended for eaters that they add as many types of basil to the salad. This is to not only acquire all the various nutrients that different basils have, but it also greatly improves upon the flavor experience because salads can sometimes be dull. Basil pairs well with tomatoes and is usually a front runner in a tomato salad. For these recipes, all that is needed will be below. Basil and tomatoes. Ingredients: ½ cup fresh basil leaves plus extra to serve, a 1/3 cup of extra virgin olive oil, half lemon, juiced, 6 truss tomatoes, sliced. Instructions. 1. The basil should be put into a blender and then pulsed. 2. After the leaves get chunky, the oil should be added. 3. Following this, the sliced tomatoes should be arranged and then drizzled with the basil mixture. 4. For an extra hint of sweetness, apple cider vinegar can be added to boost the taste. 5. Basil can also be added to any soups by pureeing the basil into a very fine texture, then adding it to the soup. 6. Although this will pair better with tomato soups, as shown by the recipe above, all soups will greatly benefit from this herb. Zucchini and basil soup. Ingredients: 2/3 cup sliced leeks, the tender white and light green parts only, extra virgin olive oil for drizzling, 1 garlic clove chopped, 2 small zucchini chopped, plus a few strands of spiralized or julienne zucchini for garnish, a 1/4 cup hemp seeds, juice of half a lemon, more to taste, ½ tablespoon miso paste, 1 cup water, more as needed for consistency, ½ cup packed fresh basil, sea salt, and freshly ground black pepper. Instructions. 1. Slice the white and light green parts of the leek into rings. Rinse well, drain, and let dry. 2. Heat a drizzle of olive oil in a small skillet over medium-low heat. Add the leeks and a pinch of salt and cook until very soft for around 7 minutes. Taste 1. The leeks should be a bit translucent and should not have a bitter taste. Stir in the garlic and cook for another 30 seconds. Remove from the heat. 3. In a blender, combine the leek mixture with the zucchini, hemp seeds, lemon juice, miso, water, and a few grinds of pepper, and blend until smooth. Add the basil and blend again. Taste and adjust seasonings, adding more lemon for brightness and salt to taste. Add more water if you prefer a thinner consistency. 4. Serve the soup at room temperature or slightly chilled. Summer rolls. Ingredients. For the basil coconut sauce: 1/2 cup full-fat coconut milk, 1/4 cup basil, 1 tablespoon cashew butter, 1 tablespoon lime juice, 1/4 of a jalapeno, optional, 1/2 clove garlic, 1/2 teaspoon fresh ginger, 1/4 teaspoon sea salt. For the summer rolls: 6 spring roll rice wrappers, 4 ounces extra firm tofu sliced into strips, 1 ripe avocado sliced, 2 ripe peaches or 1 ripe mango sliced, 1/2 watermelon radish, very thinly sliced, optional, fresh herbs, basil, Thai basil, and or mint, pinches of sesame seeds, tamari and sriracha, optional for serving. Instructions. 1. Make the basil coconut sauce. In a food processor, combine the coconut milk, basil, cashew butter, lime juice, chilies, garlic, ginger, and salt. Pulse until well combined. Season to taste. 2. Assemble the summer rolls. Fill a shallow glass baking dish with 1 inch of warm water. Submerge 1 rice paper in the warm water for 7 seconds and then lay the softened wrapper on a clean, damp kitchen towel. Place desired fillings into the center of the wrapper. Fold the bottom of the wrapper over the filling and gently tuck the filling under the wrapper. Fold the sides over the filling. Then continue rolling and tucking the rice paper to form a summer roll. Repeat with the remaining rice papers. 3. Serve with basil coconut sauce for dipping. Serve with tamari and sriracha on the side if desired. These recipes can show you that herbs do not just have to be pesto. Chapter 8. Why is sage such a powerful herb when it comes to overall health? The final herb that is about to be discussed is the wonderful herb known as sage. Sage, Salvia officinalis, also belongs to the family of mint, but is the largest member of the mint family with more than 1,000 species that are both for culinary use and are merely ornamental. It should be known, however, that there are many plants that go under the moniker of sage, but actually belong to a different plant family, so caution is advised when purchasing or growing your own. For the purpose of this chapter, the only variants of this plant that will be expanded upon will be the culinary varieties. Sage, true to the already discussed oregano and basil, also boasts a very rich folklore background that often matches the actual benefits of the herb when consumed. The name sage itself means a man that is wise due to belief that eating this herb would bring about wisdom and improve upon memory. Many Native American tribes have regarded sage as being a holy herb due to the belief that it was purifying and was used in a combination to perform a very specific ritual called smudging, while the ancient Romans also held the belief that sage was particularly holy and was used in many of their own rituals, as cited in Alkaline, 2019. Sage, when burned, has the reported ability to cleanse a space of negative energy and bring love into the home. An interesting scientific fact about burning herbs is that it has been shown that the amount of bacteria in the air decreases when the room is left closed with a bundle of herbs burning. Ancient Native American medicine men have used this herb as a means of not only cleansing the energy of the person by removing negative energies and boosting the positive energy field of the body, but also to heal various illnesses that plagued Native American communities in days when there was no formal medicine. All sage varieties are not only beautiful, but also very fragrant. The first type of sage to be discussed is the widely known variant of sage, common sage, which is especially hardy and a perennial plant. This type of sage can readily be found in many supermarkets. The leaves of this variety can be identified by the beautiful grayish-green leaves, with there being flowers that bloom in spring when the plant reaches maturity that vary in color, with some colors being white and purple. When this herb is dried, it is indistinguishable from other dried herbs. When the plant is powdered from grinding it in a mortar and pestle, it is faint green. The flavor of this sage type is particularly herbal with a very earthy and peppery finish. The taste experience is akin to mint, lemon, and eucalyptus. Burgarten sage, Salvia officinalis burgarten, is a variant of sage that when translated means mountain garden and reportedly originates from Germany. This type of sage has leaves that are larger than common sage and are oval-shaped, being gray-green in color, and possess a very unique aroma when sniffed that readily distinguishes it from traditional sage. The flavor profile of this type of sage is very similar to garden sage. Bicolor icterina sage, Salvia officinalis icterina, has leaves that are bicolored with outer edges being golden yellow and the inner leaf being the standard green. This sage is a native of the Balkan Peninsula and blossoms purple flowers in spring. The leaves of this variant have a very savory and fragrant taste. Curly sage, Salvia officinalis curly, acquires its name from the distinct ruffled leaves that are gray-green in color and with flowers that are blue when they are in full bloom. Dwarf green sage, Salvia officinalis minimus, is a version of common sage with leaves that are narrow and compact, being gray-green in color, and has flowers that are lavender blue and white-lined, which bloom in late spring or early summer. Golden sage, Salvia officinalis icterina, has leaves that vary from the typical green and are instead golden in color with a taste that have a similar taste and aroma of traditional sage. Grower's friend, Salvia officinalis grower's friend, is a very interesting variety of sage from Eastern Europe that lives up to its name due to being easy to grow. This variant does not produce flowers and rarely ever blooms. The leaves have the classic sage flavor that is sweet and not overpowering. Holt's mammoth sage is very similar to traditional sage, but has leaves that are larger and has spike flowers that range from violet, white, to pink. Tricolor sage, Salvia officinalis tricolor, is a compact variant of sage that has oblong leaves, which are gray-green mixed with white that are fuzzy and textured with maroon-colored stems. Tricolor sage is incredibly aromatic, with a taste that is not unlike rosemary and pine with an undercurrent of citrus. To get the most out of the flavor, it is recommended that it is consumed fresh, not dried. The final member of the officinalis family is Spanish sage, Salvia officinalis Spanish lavendulifolia. Although technically a subspecies, this type of sage has a milder flavor that is very reminiscent of camphor. Sage does not only belong to the officinalis family. Pineapple sage, Salvia elegans, is noted for its edible flowers, fruity aroma, and citrus-like flavor. This plant grows in a shrub with leaves that are oval-shaped and smells true to its name. This plant bears bright red flowers in summer. Frida Dixon, Salvia elegans Frida Dixon, has narrow, well-veined leaves that are slightly hairy, and when the leaves are crushed or bruised, they release a pineapple scent that is quite delicious. This sage produces flowers that are a peachy red in the fall. Golden Delicious, Salvia elegans Golden Delicious, has leaves that are a golden chartreuse color and taste like pineapple when eaten with red flowers like most pineapple sage plants. Honeymelon, Salvia elegans Honeymelon, has tubular red flowers and leaves that release a sweet tangerine scent when they are rubbed. Tangerine sage, Salvia elegans Tangerine, is very similar to its ancestor mint because when left unattended, this plant will grow everywhere, so it is recommended that it is grown in a pot. This sage-like pineapple sage is a native of South America. This plant has pale green oval-shaped leaves that release the scent of tangerine. Halfway through summer, these plants bloom long spires of red flowers which take quite a while to open, but when they do bloom, feel free to use them in any way you can. Grape sage, Salvia melissadora, is usually used as a tea herb, but can also be added to fruit salads for an extra bit of taste. This sage has a freesia-like scent, which can strongly be smelled in the fall air in softly colored flowers that border on purple like its namesake. All parts of this sage type can be consumed, but for extra culinary flair, you can add the flowers to just about anything that complements the flavor. Greek sage, Salvia fruticosa, also known as Salvia trilobα, is native of the Mediterranean. This variant of sage has a taste that is more vigorous than common garden sage. However, there is a trend in most supermarkets of passing Greek sage as common sage. All that can be resolved by tasting the plant. Clary sage, Salvia scalera, tastes reminiscent of common sage, but has a strong current of camphor qualities. This is of importance because too much of this sage can make the dish bitter. Fruit sage, Salvia dorsiana, originates from Central America. This variant of sage has leaves and flowers that are both edible, releasing a fruit-like scent. Grapefruit sage, Salvia gesneriflora, has leaves that are edible and similar to other varieties of sage, but the large grapefruit-colored flowers of this sage are the star of this plant. Not only do they attract pollinators, but they are packed with sweet nectar, so the flowers can be eaten straight from the plant. South African sage, Salvia lanceolata, has leaves that are distinctly darker than the other sage variants, but it is the flavor of these leaves that make it stand out. This sage has a flavor that can be thought of as a combination between lemon and pepper. Blackcurrant sage, Salvia microphylla, is also known as baby sage or gram sage and has the Spanish name of Mitro de Montes, which translates to myrtle of the mountain. The flowers of this sage are a deep rose pink, and the leaves are a normal green. This sage has a taste that reminds many of blackcurrant, being sweet and slightly tart. This sage variety is mostly used in teas, but can also be used in desserts. White sage, Salvia apiana, produces foliage that is silver green and blossoms white flowers with a hint of lavender. This sage variety has a taste that is a mixture of pine with pepper. The final two types of sage to be discussed, Salvia hispanica, known as Mexican chia, and Salvia columbariae, known as desert chia, are not grown for their leaves but instead for their seeds. Chia seeds, when exposed to water, produce seeds that are nutrient-dense and taste very good when combined with many possibilities, such as oatmeal or berries. Sage, regardless of what variety is eaten, possesses many health benefits that can be gained both from consuming it in food and tea. Sage is extremely high in nutrients. A single teaspoon of sage contains 2 calories, 0.1 grams of protein, 0.4 grams of carbohydrates, little to no fat, contains 10% of the daily recommended vitamin K, 1.1% recommended iron, 1.1% recommended vitamin B1, 1% calcium, and 1% manganese, as cited in Raman, 2018. Sage also contains trace amounts of magnesium, zinc, copper, and vitamins A, C, and E. Also, sage contains the other nutrients that possess health benefits. Caffeic acid has been shown to reduce inflammation, has the potential to be cancer preventative, prevents and treats the toxicity associated with chemotherapy and radiation, prevents diabetes, prevents premature aging of the skin and body, prevents neurodegenerative diseases, and reduces exercise-related fatigue, as cited in Cafaso, 2018. Ellagic acid contains many antioxidant benefits and has been shown to protect the cells from free radicals by removing them and toxins in the body. Rutin has been shown to lower cholesterol, helps blood circulation, prevents blood clots, and reduces pain from arthritis, as cited in Anthony, 2018. Sage has been shown to aid the body's oral health due to possessing antimicrobial effects that deal with the bacteria that are responsible for dental decay. For example, a sage-based mouthwash has been shown to have the capacity to kill bacteria that are related to tooth decay. Sage possesses many antioxidants, which was previously discussed above. Yet to expand on this, sage contains over 160 polyphenols, which act against free radicals in the body. Sage has been shown to greatly reduce the amount of bad LDL cholesterol in the body, which has an effect on the heart, while having the ability to raise good HDL cholesterol, as cited in Rahman, 2018. There are also many ailments that can be healed through the use of sage and its products. Menopause symptoms have been shown to be alleviated when sage is used. This is due to the presence of estrogen-like compounds that bind to receptors in the brain to help treat menopause-linked memory lapses, hot flashes, and excessive sweating. Sage has also been shown to aid in cognitive function due to halting the breakdown of acetylcholine, which has been shown to increase during the progression of Alzheimer's, as cited in Lopresti, 2016. Sage has been shown to treat diarrhea, loss of appetite, stomach pain, flatulence, bloating, and heartburn. For these conditions, it is best consumed in the tea form, steeped in hot water for 5 minutes. Sage can also be used to make desserts because after the recipes mentioned in the previous 2 chapters, it is very needed. Sage and chocolate nice cream. Ingredients: 3½ frozen ripe bananas, 5 to 6 chopped fresh sage leaves, 2 tablespoons cacao powder, big dash of sea salt. Optional toppings: dried black or white mulberries, cacao nibs. Instructions: blend all base ingredients in a high-power blender to an ice cream consistency. Transfer into a bowl and top with toppings for extra flair and taste. Vegan green apple, sage, and olive oil bundt cake. Ingredients: 1 cup gluten-free flour, 12 tablespoons coconut sugar, 8 tablespoons ground almonds, 3 teaspoons ground cinnamon, 2 teaspoons baking powder, pinch of sea salt, ½ cup almond or coconut milk, 1 teaspoon vanilla extract, ½ cup extra virgin olive oil, ½ cup unsweetened coconut yogurt, 15 fresh sage leaves finely sliced into ribbons, 2 small green apples or 1 large, peeled, cored, and cut into cubes. Toppings: 1 teaspoon cinnamon. Instructions: 1. Preheat the oven to 338 degrees Fahrenheit. Grease the sides and base of a bundt tin very well, taking extra care with the central tube. 2. In the bowl of an electric stand mixer, combine the flour, coconut sugar, ground almonds, cinnamon, baking powder, and salt. Gradually add in the milk, vanilla, and oil. Finally, fold through the coconut yogurt and sage ribbons. 3. Spoon the batter into the tin and spread out to the sides. Scatter over the apple pieces and press them down lightly with the back of a spoon. 4. Bake for approximately 40 minutes or until golden in color, springy to the touch, and a skewer inserted in the center comes out clean. 5. Allow the cake to cool for 10 minutes before turning out onto a cooling rack. 6. Using a small sieve, dust with cinnamon. Pumpkin sage biscuits. Ingredients: 1/4 cup plain unsweetened almond milk, 1 tablespoon lemon juice, 2 1/4 cups unbleached all-purpose flour, 1 tablespoon baking powder, ½ teaspoon baking soda, 3/4 teaspoon sea salt, 1 pinch each ground cinnamon and nutmeg, 4 tablespoons non-dairy unsalted butter, 1/4 cup pumpkin puree, 3 tablespoons fresh sage. Instructions: 1. Preheat the oven to 450 degrees Fahrenheit. 2. Measure almond milk in a large liquid measuring cup and add lemon juice. Let curdle for 5 minutes, then whisk in pumpkin puree. 3. Mix the flour, salt, baking soda, baking powder, cinnamon, and nutmeg in a large mixing bowl. 4. Add cold butter and use a pastry cutter or a fork to combine until only small pieces remain and it looks wet and clumpy. Work quickly so the butter does not get too warm. Add chopped sage and mix once more. 5. Using a wooden spoon, stir gently while pouring in the almond pumpkin mixture a quarter cup at a time. Stir until just slightly combined. It will be a little sticky, but not too much. 6. Put onto a lightly floured surface. Dust the top with a bit of flour, and then very gently turn the dough over on itself a couple times, hardly kneading. 7. Form into a 1-inch thick disc, handling as little as possible. 8. Use a 1-inch thick dough cutter or a similar shaped object with sharp edges and push straight down through the dough, then slightly twist. Repeat and place biscuits on a baking sheet in 2 rows, making sure they just touch. This will help them rise uniformly. Gently reform the dough and cut out 1 or 2 more biscuits. You should have around 7 or 9 biscuits, depending on the size of your cutter. 9. Brush the tops with a bit more of the melted non-dairy butter and gently press a small divot in the center using your thumb. This will also help them rise evenly, so the middle will not form a dome. 10. Bake for 13 to 17 minutes or until fluffy and golden brown. These take a little longer to bake than traditional biscuits because the pumpkin adds extra moisture. 11. Serve immediately. Let the remaining biscuits cool completely before storing them in an airtight container or bag. They will keep for up to a few days, though they will be best when fresh. Chapter 9. Tips to remain consistent with your diet. Congratulations! You have finally reached the end of the book, and you have learned everything that you can about the benefits of the alkaline diet, as well as the way that it can be added to your life. Your mind, now brimming with this new information, feels empowered enough to go to the grocery store and stock your shelves with as many alkaline foods that you can find. Your heart even has the courage to ditch all the other food you already have because you realize that they are not healthy. You feel like you can take on the entire world. That is until the reality of your new situation sets in and you find yourself asking, how am I going to be consistent with this new lifestyle? This chapter, my friends, is going to be your saving grace. A disclaimer should be given that for people who have lived their entire lives following this unhealthy pattern, it can be difficult not to fall back into your old habits and reach for something that is easy and familiar. Do not let your resolve falter, though, because the benefits are well worth it. For ease of understanding, this book breaks down consistency into an acronym. C stands for commitment, O stands for optimism, N stands for necessity, S stands for strength, I stands for integrity, S stands for stability, T stands for trust, E stands for effectiveness, N stands for non-negativity, and T stands for truth. These words are all major aspects of being consistent with anything in life, from applying this diet to your daily life to studying for those midterms that determine your educational future. You might be wondering why an entire chapter is dedicated to the concept of consistency when many people already try to be as consistent as they can. This is because consistency is very important. Without consistency, a person cannot get very far with what they are doing. The reason is that when times get tough and they feel like they are lagging, they end up reneging on the commitments that they made to themselves. You can attribute this to life's terms or plain laziness, but a lack of consistency is still a major problem. For example, you may have started a new exercise regimen and everything is going well. You eat healthy and visit the gym 5 times a week, until you start lagging. Healthy foods are replaced with foods that are saturated with sugar and unhealthy fats, while exercise becomes something that you dread, ending up with you going to the gym once in a blue moon, if at all. This is due to a lapse in one's consistency. To understand consistency, the letters of the acronym will be further expanded upon. Commitment is a very big word that many people shriek at when mentioned, not just those people that do not want to settle down. Commitment is scary because it requires people making what they are trying to do every single part of their being, but also requires the ability to differentiate between themselves and what they are doing. While it is good to make the alkaline diet a part of your life, it does not mean that it has to become a phantom pervading every corner of your thoughts. That is unhealthy. Commitment, when done right, means that you set a standard for yourself and maintain that standard in all that you do. Optimism is something that is a very important aspect of consistency that is often left aside without prior thought. When embarking on any venture, a person needs to maintain a level of optimism because without it, they will feel weighed down by all that they have and want to do. People will eventually feel like the diet is not worth it when they go out for a night on the town and see their friends slamming down shots and chowing down on that leftover burger. It is perfectly okay to feel sad about this, because it was a part of your life, but that does not mean your new life can never be just as fun. When you are genuinely optimistic about the changes that you are going to make, you will look forward to the effects that will eventually happen. Optimism also requires an element of patience due to the changes taking time to happen, but it is worth it nonetheless. With optimism applied to consistency, you will eventually look forward to the changes that you have made in your life. Consistency requires a person understanding that there is an element of necessity in what they are doing, but this does not mean that it is forced, which makes us feel terrible. The necessity of consistency means that you know that the benefits are worth it, and you remind yourself why they are worth it. A person taking their health more seriously is very necessary, which makes following this diet as equally necessary. Another part of consistency is strength, not physical, but emotional and psychological. Strength is required when you adopt any new regimen or lifestyle because there will be many moments where your mind gets tested by the simplest things. Normal desserts will look fantastic at a party and practically call your name when you have not had artificial and processed sugar in a very long time. A can of beer will be sweating as much as you are on a hot summer evening. There's never anything wrong with temptation, but it matters what you do with the temptation. Applying consistency to this would mean having the strength to say no and choose alternatives that are actually good for you long-term and not just instant gratification. Integrity would mean being honest with yourself and holding yourself up to the standards that you have chosen to place in your life. Consistency becomes non-existent when you do not hold yourself to the ideals that you decided to place into your life, which quite frankly sucks. This can all be prevented by ensuring that you choose to have integrity with this diet. That means not cheating and not hating what you are doing. Stability is also another part of having consistency regarding this diet. You will need to form a stable approach to what you are aiming for instead of simply just choosing to make a mishmash between your old life and your new life. For there to be consistency in your diet, there needs to be stability in the diet and the life surrounding your diet. This means that you need to work at making yourself stable for there to be stability in other areas of your life in order for this diet to work properly. Start by taking a deep dive into the workings of your mind and find out what part of yourself needs to be stable for everything else to be stable. A diet is just a diet if the person driving the diet is not stable within themselves. However, when there is stability, a diet transforms into a lifestyle. Trust is very necessary for there to be consistency in the diet as well. A person needs to trust the process throughout their journey of living the alkaline life, but also, they need to make use of their integrity during the process. Many people do not trust the process or the results because they expect them to be world-breaking. For true consistency, complete trust is needed in yourself and the journey because flip-flopping will just end with you giving up prematurely or going through the cycle of consistency and inconsistency. Effectiveness is an interesting aspect of consistency when you get into it. In order for consistency to remain stable, there should be an element of understanding the effectiveness of your approach on a deeper and subtle level, while also taking part in the diet by making sure you find it effective. There is nothing as sad as ensuring that you are consistent with everything you do, but not seeing any rewards from what you are doing. Effectiveness requires research, which this book has provided you, yet it does not have to stop there. There are many avenues of learning how to adopt this diet and what it does for you. Not being negative, which does combine with optimism, should also be a part of your aim to be more consistent. When you are negative, you no longer see the point in remaining consistent. When this idea is applied to the diet, you no longer feel the joys of taking your health seriously. This weighs you down in the end, so stop being so hard on yourself. Like everything in life, there is a learning curve, and you need to be gentle on yourself. The final aspect of consistency is truth. You will need to remind yourself of the truth behind what you are doing and why you are attempting this. You also need to be truthful with yourself. This is vital to consistency. If you feel that you are going to dip, you need to be honest with why you are dipping and how long the dip has been going on. You will need to tell your friends that you cannot eat out with them because your health matters to you more than it did in the past, which will shock them. However, if you implement the letters behind consistency, you will find that it becomes much easier than in the past. With the principles behind why consistency is key, we are going to address why consistency is important. When embarking on anything, there needs to be consistency. Let us take exercise for an example. Will you be able to see results if you do not buckle down and put in the work? The short answer is a definite no. When it comes to this diet, which can be thought of as an exercise of the stomach, consistency is going to be important, as there will be numerous opportunities to disregard the life choices that you have made. Consistency means that at the end of your journey, you'll be able to achieve the goals that you formed, whether these goals are weight loss or having a better sense of health. Consistency seems like a tall order, but there are many tips in order for you to be more consistent. The first tip is setting achievable, specific, and measurable goals. Nothing hurts more than setting lofty goals that are good in their nature, but end up with you feeling like you are chasing something that cannot be attained when you put in the work. For example, with this diet, although I recommend switching to plant-based alkaline diets as soon as you can, for the average person, this will be difficult. That is why you introduce it to your life and system slowly. Firstly, begin each day with the idea that consistency in your diet is what you are striving for, by making sure that the first meal you eat is not only healthy, but also plant-based. Over time, this will become a habit, and forming good habits is the first step toward developing consistency in the diet. Now that we have addressed food, we can go deeper in being consistent with the diet. Removing all soft drinks from your life can be another step that is vital to this lifestyle. That is a relatively straightforward step and can easily be replaced by fruit-flavored or infused sparkling water that is actually good for you, or fruit-flavored or infused water. Next comes removing dairy from your diet, which can be done simply by choosing to purchase almond or non-dairy milk. Following this, you can slowly reduce your consumption of animal products by removing red meat, chicken, and then fish until all you eat is plant-based. This shows you that smaller steps lead to bigger results when they are maintained regularly. Secondly, create a schedule to yourself that is easy for you to maintain. There are many people that fail at the plant-based approach because they do not make time to cook. Cooking can be a long process that leaves many feeling like their only option is purchasing their food. This can all be helped by choosing a specific day in the week that you are not busy, most likely a weekend, and cooking your food for the week. This not only saves you time, but seeing that you have cooked everything in advance makes you feel like you have accomplished something, which is a realistic goal. It is recommended, however, that you rotate the meals that you cook, because a dull diet is another reason behind why people give up on the plant-based approach. Third, fill your life with reminders of the lifestyle change that you are making. For example, you can fill your fridge with notes and pictures that remind you of the alkaline lifestyle. This reminds your mind on a daily basis of what it is you're doing, which ensures that you remain consistent with what you are embarking on. For people who want to take this an extra step further, they can even change the lock screen on their phones to something that promotes your new lifestyle. We use our phones every day, and we will end up being reminded every day. You can even set an alarm on your phone for your meals with the title, Eating Alkaline. This causes your brain to equate eating healthy with your everyday life. Fourth, you need to make promises to yourself that you can actually keep. This links to the integrity, truth, and commitment that was mentioned earlier in this chapter. You need to promise yourself daily that you will maintain this diet to the best of your ability. This means every weekend, you maintain the promise you made to yourself to cook your meals. It also means that you maintain your decision not to eat out with your friends at restaurants that do not provide your lifestyle needs. Fifth, reward yourself when you have done something right. It can be very monotonous to adhere to a diet that feels like a chore. Treat yourself to plant-based desserts every once in a while. This not only alleviates the palate, but also rewards your further progress. Human beings are reward-based creatures after all. Sixth, if you do fail on this journey, do not scold yourself continuously. Mistakes do happen because we are human. Instead, choose to pick up where you have left off and choose to learn from the mistakes that you have made. Mistakes exist for us to learn where we faltered and why this happened. Seventh, you need to take time for yourself to relax. This does not mean that you should not eat plant-based, but it does mean that you can take a break from the everyday. You can take a vacation on this diet and still maintain the diet by choosing the plant-based options. Eighth, always make use of motivational tools throughout your life. This links to the reminders already mentioned, but can be expanded further. For example, take a picture of yourself before you choose to embark on the journey. When you look at this picture on the days that you are down and compare how you look now in terms of weight or even your skin, you can see that the changes made are worth it. Ninth, give yourself adequate time to see the changes that you have made. This requires patience on your part and the optimism that was mentioned. The next tip is that the boundaries will need to be set with yourself and people around you. The friends that do not understand the lifestyle changes will try to pressure you into reneging on the promise that you have made to yourself, but you will maintain the boundaries that you have chosen to live with. Finally, your willpower is going to need a good workout. Strong willpower is vital to remaining consistent with any undertaking, but with a diet, it is even more so. With all these steps, you can easily see for yourself that consistency is a bit of a double-edged sword, because although it feels attainable, it takes work on the part of a person. Consistency takes breaking down the already established patterns of your life and building new ones. For anyone, this will be a process that is long-term, instead of how fast-paced we live our daily lives. However, this chapter should have shown you that it is easy to maintain your new lifestyle to an extent that it becomes second nature. You cannot start your new lifestyle with old habits. Conclusion. As the author of this book, I personally want to thank you for choosing to read this book. I appreciate your choice for including me on your journey and give you a thumbs up for learning as much as you can. I also want to congratulate you on making the active choice to take your health seriously, both for the age now and for your older years, which could decline in health based on certain diets. You have learned about the diet that our ancestors used to live their agricultural lives. You are about to embark on a journey that will be something that you will be thankful for the rest of your life, so I wish you as much luck as possible. With the knowledge imparted in this book, your pH levels, which govern how your body fares, will be transformed from being acidic and damaging to your health to alkaline and protecting your health, all from the inside. Your body is going to be healed, making you feel years younger and lighter. There are many points that should be taken from this book that I as the author feel you need to remember on this journey. Grab that notepad you were using when reading this book and jot down some more tips. You have learned all you can surrounding the facts about the diet that have been backed by science and another person's individual experiences. Your health is going to be boosted immensely if you adopt this lifestyle, monitor it, and add a little bit of exercise to your life. This does not mean that you can eat whatever you want as long as it is alkaline and plant-based, or that those doctor's visits will not happen, because that is a part of our lives, but they will be less frequent, and you will recover from diseases at a much faster rate than previously. The dreaded common cold in winter will be dodged, all thanks to a more vigorous immune system. Chronic diseases that have been incorporated in your life to such a manner that you thought it would follow you around for the rest of your days will no longer be your burden. All the various parts of your body will be healed. Your kidneys will have a lessened load of acid from all the acid-forming foods you used to eat. Your brain function and memory will be superhuman. You will have more energy than you can actually deal with, but this energy can be used to complete any goals that stretch well past simply living the alkaline lifestyle. With this diet, you can run a marathon. Your chances of developing cancer or diabetes in your life will be greatly decreased to the extent that there is a low probability of these diseases forming. Your immune system will be supercharged. All of the diseases that you do suffer from will be greatly alleviated and healed through the use of this diet. You have managed to hear the myths stated by the naysayers of your new lifestyle and have seen for yourself that they are complete foolishness. You now have the ability to call out your naysayers with complete confidence. Your spice rack is no longer solely for adding some flavor to your food, but instead has been shown to have the power of a pharmacy when used correctly. The beauty of nature is that it provides all the medicines that we need in a form that is safe for us. However, it should be known that they work at a much slower rate than their processed forms. All that this requires is an element of trust in the healing power of the planet, with there being proof that our common ailments can all be assisted with the use of the herbs. Adding to this, your knowledge about the types of culinary herbs that actually exist has grown from only one herb being regarded as that entire herb to you being shown that there are as many varieties of a single type as there are variations of human fingerprints. Basil is no longer simply a pizza topping, but instead has been shown to be an entire flavor on its own. Oregano is no longer just meant for pasta, but can be a star addition to any dish. Sage is no longer simply a seasoning that you add to your chicken, but instead can be used in the most surprising place: desserts, which are both healthy and taste professionally made. Plants and their options are going to be your body's new best friend and will become a vital role in your daily life. So look for various other ways that you incorporate them in your life, as well as ways to make them more exciting and fulfilling. You can feel free to get rid of animal milks and try some almond milk. Although this book did mention a few recipes, please do feel free to personally expand on this knowledge as much as you can. Not only will this make eating food a more enjoyable and holistic experience, as food is meant to nourish the body and soul, but you will be further educating yourself on the different flavors that you can actually make. You have learned the ins and outs of being a consistent person to your diet, but this does not mean that consistency needs to end there. You can add your newfound consistency to other avenues in your life, from exercising to building your empire. So, my friend, embark on this journey with all of your heart as I implore you to continue your education on the alkaline diet. This book should not be the last stop on your journey to a healthier and better you. Be grateful to yourself for choosing to live a life that is not only healthy for the body, but also this wonderful planet that we owe our lives to. More importantly, have fun with becoming the person that our ancestors were, because all of this rests in your hands.